Am I good?
Yep.
Okay. We'll go ahead, approval of the board minutes for February 15th, 2022.
I make a motion that we accept the board minutes for February 15th, 2022.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion been carried and passed. Go into correspondence.
All there is.
All we have is one letter. It's from Willow Rock Incorporated. And it's on the engineering to satisfy the FERC requirements. We did the monitoring survey on Georgetown Lake Dam yesterday, 2/10/22. And that's from Hans Bonson.
Does that need to go to Jeremiah or Jeremiah or you?
I'm not certain. I can forward it on to them.
Okay. And that's the only correspondence that we have. We'll go right into public comment. Any public? Why does it say your internet connection's unstable? Is that just?
Sometimes it flashes up.
Oh, okay.
Still the Wi-Fi issue.
Oh,
It doesn't do it too often, but
Okay.
Blackfoot had talked about coming back to the county on the plan for, improving the internet around.
maybe they'll buy back them phones.
They're gonna be here today.
Yeah, it makes you dial like real fast.
Yeah, and if you're, you gotta be quick.
They're gonna be here today. Bug them.
Huh?
Blackfoot will be here today. Bug them.
They were gonna put together a proposal, I thought. But
They're,
that-
they're
get
still
some
working
ARPA
on the
money or-
Georgetown Lake thing,
Yeah.
so,
So XX acres, are we putting, that's where we're gonna insert something? On this letter, XX acres?
Yeah. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah, we need to figure out
the exact
acreage.
that.
Well, I don't know. That's called foresters again.
yeah, I did an online search and wasn't easily accessible.
Why can't we just leave that out?
Yeah,
Just leave that XX acres. It says, it would say there's already a sufficient designated wilderness area in Granite County. Then put a period there.
Yeah,
Green Hill Wilderness.
yeah, that sounds better.
Other
Cause
than that, it's pretty low. You guys. But
good team,
Group effort.
good teamwork.
Any public comment? I don't have nobody on that side thing today.
Oh, here you can change your.
You just hit that.
somehow we skipped 17. Good. Inches.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's jump.
that's a jump. Is that a jump?
Going up, you're saying?
Good news, it's a jump.
they got more snow than up here though.
They did, there's like 6 inches up, Bear Gulch, I went up there yesterday. Yeah, they've got like 6 inches up there, and you get up towards this way, nothing. Then that wind came, oh,
Yeah, that was nasty.
It's cold.
Like yesterday morning, it didn't seem like it's blowing that hard, but it was just like ice.
they said that yesterday it hit the max, that guy has one of them wind things, he said it was like 37 miles an hour. That's pretty good for down there.
I didn't notice I walked the kids, but I just know it was cold when.
That was super muddy area right here. Hasn't been swept.
He comes in mine every like Wednesday and does mine.
That's mine on Tuesday.
Give you a reminder about that. Here.
Can we move that?
The 210 thing?
No,
Oh.
This?
the spices, yeah.
Oh,
What's wrong with it?
move it right in front of
Well,
Mr.
that's
Adler.
gonna
Yeah,
change
he'll take care of this.
I'm doing it because of the smell.
Oh, that won't help you.
What's wrong with it?
We will move
Huh?
it.
What's it doing?
It's the smell kind of bothers, it's spicy smell.
It's too spicy.
I can't even smell.
You can't smell it? Well, that's because it's close to me.
Directly.
So
to
then
you.
There we go.
I'm kidding.
My brain doesn't work.
What is it? Is it ginger? Or what is it?
Hmm?
Is it ginger? Or what is
Yeah.
it?
And that's not a bad thing, it just
It's too much.
a little too much.
Hello?
Straight
Yeah.
ginger? Like on it is.
Yes.
That's got it like Thai food. It's not good.
You get a
In
big
a
bite of
cake.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Get right in the side door.
Yeah, there was a bad collision, I think, on the interstate yesterday.
When?
In the morning, just like, well, close to Paramount. Car went across the median and hit another truck.
Oh, man. I was on the interstate
Were
in
you?
the morning. I had to go get my Invisalign.
Okay. It was visible.
Yeah. And yeah, the roads were awful in the morning. It was just a sheet of ice.
Was that yesterday?
People going too fast.
I went 45.
Yeah,
Crossed the median and hit someone. But it was a truck that hit, so I think the people that hit were all right, but the people in the car might have been.
What's that?
Hit on, or whatever, the collision where they crossed the median, looked like it's coming down.
Right there. Chalet. Yeah, they were all right. That guy, them people that were in that Toyota that was upside down, I was on that one.
Oh,
They're okay.
good.
They had like 10 cases of wine in there. Shit was everywhere. And remember, I think a lot of people thought it was blood.
They're like, what's going on?
That's who was just on the phone, was the guy stopping and getting the rest of some special wine.
I choked, I thought everyone was drunk.
let's take a look about
Yeah,
that.
there was all kinds of cans of beer, and they were going back to Salt Lake.
Good morning.
They're bootlegging. Any public comment? One guy was running down the road trying to catch their dog, finally got it.
Oh,
That
that
dog was
correction
headed.
dog. He's out of there.
He was headed to Missoula.
I'm out of here.
They're not a drive, I won't drive with them anymore.
Yeah.
Try to get me in this car.
I
again.
got the hell beat out of it with the wine bottles flying around.
Oh,
Yeah.
A lot of them didn't break, hit the highway, just.
oh, good bottles. Well, they were better last night, but it was kind of patchy. The worst spot was like right by drum.
Are you here on public comment?
Blackfoot.
Oh, Blackfoot.
Yeah, sure.
I'll order some.
Morning,
How you doing?
staying warm enough?
Oh, yeah. Is it cold out?
Not for a real Montana.
No. Wouldn't be bad if it wasn't for that damn wind.
Yeah, that was bad last night.
And I get the east wind of my house, you know, it just, it was right on by, the 100 yards over there, it's just blowing like crazy.
Yeah, you're tucked away good enough.
Yeah. You go down on the road, man.
Built- Had your house built in the right spot, man.
No, this ain't gonna last long.
We'll do one next week. I think.
Friday. We'll start breaking. Supposed to be 40 by Saturday, so. Who knows, it changes every 5 minutes.
Well, we'll go ahead and go into Road and Bridge Weekly Report with all superintendents here.
Well, it's cold. We're just plowing some few drifts and that's about it. Most of the snow is in a different county. You know,
A little bit up Bergerson, wasn't there?
yeah. Even on Dunkelberg, it's just bare, all blown away. But that's just kind of what we're doing. One thing I'm wondering is, what is the plan with the valley dumps? Do we have a plan for them? Are we gonna shop and try to get some different valley dumps this year, or try and overhaul these for another season, or what do you guys wanna do?
I don't think we have the money really to go out and get any new ones. I guess the guy could keep an eye open on some used ones or something, but Paul, right now, I guess what's your budget look like?
Well, it's not coming out of this budget.
Nah.
I mean, that's the cinch. I'm just wondering, are we looking at something for the next
Well, I think we ought to
budget?
look for some good used ones,
Mhm.
you know, so,
For the next budget.
So the ones we have,
They're in the 1960s. We've had more busted windshields. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if we gotta run another season with them, we'll run another season with them. We'll get them in the shop and start working on them, but I mean, they are wore out.
I definitely try to get them so you can use them, that they're safe, you know.
Well, they're never gonna be
And
safe,
No, well,
you know? I mean, they're not gonna be. Gravel could fall out of them or whatever, but it can't any of them, you know, so. But I just want you guys aware, you know, we've had the windshield stuff before and I think the way it looks, that we probably need to get them in and try to do what we can do with them, you know, to get us through. But certainly if we come across something half decent or something that can be on a different budget, we need to look into it.
Could you start looking, kind of look around?
Yeah, I can, but you know, they go pretty fast, you know how that is. Cause we're right now, I mean, we're March, just saying, stuff isn't gonna sit there 4 or 5 months. We're certainly not in a situation to buy anything at the moment, but are we in July, or, you know, are we at next budget?
could we
But I'll,
put a thing out, like saying that if you found one at a reasonable, that you could try to get one? We had to take it out of like built or something just to cover it till the next budget, or can you do that, Blanche?
You start that and you're doing all over again what you've done in the past few years, is why 500,000 was taken out of PILT just to balance the road budget, and that's not a good thing.
no,
So, and then consolidating those loans would help. So we'd see where you could probably save on the loan consolidation to see where you're at.
Okay.
But,
That's all I was just
yeah,
asking.
unfortunately, yeah, it'd be great to be able to just, let's go get some more belly dumps, but
well, and I'm not talking about today, but I'm talking, it's gonna have to happen in the future. You know, there's no question about it. And so I guess my thoughts are get a idea what they're gonna cost over the next several, 2-3 months, see what they're kind of selling for. So we're gonna have to budget for it at some point.
right. Well, and that's it. You look to see what you're gonna be needing and looking into and seeing what you possibly save just from those loan consolidations, that maybe you'd be able to fund something. But if we can get those loans paid off, then you're gonna be in a way better situation to purchase something that you need, because you don't have that huge payment that's taken all your budget from you.
Right,
I mean, that's just
right. I
common
get it.
sense.
That's why I was asking you about how that worked. I know I didn't mean to just go grab it out
Right.
right now. I just was curious if I understand it.
And yeah,
It's just that some of them will come up, just saying that you find ones with 30,000.
and you can budget something over a 2-year period too. You can pay for half in one and half in another fiscal year. I mean, that's been done. I mean, we haven't really done that, but you can do that.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, yeah, we just need to,
Well, I think we should start looking.
Right.
Really, and then figure it out. If we did find something, I'd almost be willing to, if we could pay for it next budget, to do what you said and just put a slip in their IOU for next, I mean, it's only a few months away. It's not like we're gonna forget about it. And then, but we're gonna need it, and there might become a time where, like, I still say that
unfortunately, there's no
federal
such,
money isn't gonna be there, and we might just be doing a lot of this stuff on our own. And if we had a couple of good belly dumps, that we, county crew could just,
Well,
You're talking about taking from Pilt and then paying it back, or what do you mean by that?
it just depends. I mean, if we found a good deal or something, or, you just start looking.
Oh, we have to.
well, you're not gonna use them until when, July?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But you gotta start looking now, like you said, because the stuff's coming out on the market after the winter.
It's probably not gonna get any cheaper either. I don't know if they're like used cars.
I tell you, used equipment, anything used seems like it's up 30-40%.
Everybody's gonna use that for its use to raise the price.
Oh, yeah.
I just think we should start kind of looking and then talk about it.
Yeah,
It's
'cause I mean,
not,
the guy doesn't have
it's
to
not
buy it.
saying that we're gonna buy one, but I mean, a person better start looking, just have it on their minds that sooner or later, we're gonna have to do something. Don't, might be another 2 years, you never know.
You saying look into it, put it in a budget request for the next fiscal year.
So the belly dumps are used for what?
Hauling gravel and millings and stuff like
Sand and just.
them, or them big long, that big long yellow trailer, you got 2 of them.
Well,
If they're falling a long ways, it doesn't pay to go back for load their trucks, you know, you get more in there.
right, twice.
You get more done for the guys working out on the road. You know, so they're not just sitting around waiting for it.
Well, and you're spreading gravel, you gotta be running them belly dumps, not dump trucks. For one, it costs you half for fuel, and you get twice as much done, and it's just spreads better, it's just what you do, you know? But looking is cheap.
Yes, it is.
Another thing I wanted to bring up is that going back on 410s. I'd like to be ready to do that whenever this weather breaks, because we're gonna have to start blading road. And we need our afternoons to do that. And I understand it's not today, but in 10 days, we might wanna be back on that. Like, just for example, Kaiser Hill is already rotten up, you know, and when you're done at 2 o'clock, you can't get anything done. And the frosts are gonna be coming out of the ground pretty fast. So I'd like to have a letter on hand from Craig, the union rep, in our file that says, when we decide to go back on 410s,
When do we usually go back on 410s?
it's either the 1st of April or the 15th of April, I can't remember for sure.
I think last year it was a little bit earlier, cause we had the.
Oh no, we went last year, we were back on 410s by this time already.
You're just saying what the contract is April.
Yeah, I believe the contract was, I think that's what Blanche was wanting.
Well, then we can work longer in the afternoons and get the use out of the weather still.
Well, I'm just thinking in March, I don't think you should, because you don't know the winter storms that come in March, and then you're looking at the overtime when you're on those 410s for people for plowing for the school bus. I mean, that right there, March is still winter. So,
I don't know, but March is also road blading weather. You know, I mean, you have one day, or you're thinking, when you look at overtime, you have only on Friday, you may have overtime in the morning if we get a freak storm for the school bus. Otherwise, you have 4 days of overtime if you're out there trying to plow blade road and you're blading 2 o'clock comes, we're gonna be blading road till 4. Then they're getting overtime that way. Or we don't blade road. I mean,
I'd like to look at March 15th. That's kind of my.
yeah, I'm certainly not putting a date on it.
Yeah, I mean, right around the middle of March, I think April is too late,
I do too.
you know, and
And all we gotta do is, if we have it in our file like we always do, we don't have to make the decision today. We make it at the 15th of March, maybe shit, it's 60 degrees out, you know, maybe it's not. And just go from there. But without having it in file, then we wait another week. It'll be tabled for the following week, you know what I mean? And then pretty quick
you know, the chances of having a Friday, nobody will work in a snowstorm or ice storm in March, kind of slim.
Right.
And, you know, it could hit any other day of the week. You know, and
Yeah, you just don't.
it's the same thing. So I'd like to look at March 15th.
If you could have it on your agenda,
You're right around there.
like, yeah. Like
One-
Well, they gotta get hold of Craig first and get that back, so.
Yeah.
Just like we always just get the email to you and then it's on file.
Yeah, anytime I'm willing to draft it up if you want to and send it to you, that's quick.
One thing we do need to do is, whenever we do it, we need to trade on Monday. So that way there is no overtime on your regular day.
You
know
could do
I mean?
what?
We need to switch, whenever we do switch, we need to switch on a Monday, because then there's no overtime, it's just a 40-hour week. You know,
Just start it on a
About the
Monday.
14th.
so yeah, we can,
Not-
Look at the 14th,
yeah,
kind of have it on.
visit about on
Well,
the 8th.
you'd want to talk with payroll to see how you would work it. Because we're not bi-weekly, we're monthly, and so it makes a
Right.
difference when,
But we always trade on Monday. So otherwise, like if you did it on a Tuesday, then you wind up with 3/8. Just so you're not over 40 hours on that week, you know.
so like you wanted it on the 15th and I mean, just as a guesstimate, I think something like that, you could follow through on the 21st, because that gives you the 3 weeks in March that you're probably going to get bad weather, and the 2 weeks when it starts to get nice, first day of spring is what, 20th or 21st?
Usually first.
Yeah. But
And
it-
that's still
it-
giving you
it
plenty of
is
time.
It just
2
depends on
weeks.
the weather. I mean, if it gets, I guess who knows, just see what the weather does. That's all you can do. I just want to have it on, Wayne have the letter so we can, when we decide to turn, we can turn.
Well, then that way you don't have to go and wait on him, because it'll
Right.
take time to get it from
Right.
you. That's pretty much what you're saying. just so we
That's all
have-
I want. Maybe,
You're not
maybe
saying
we
what
get a
day.
winter storm till May, you know, and then we don't worry about it, but we might as well be prepared for it. You know, that's all I'm saying.
All right, what else you got? Anything else?
That's about it.
Alrighty.
They gotta get back to you on the snow fence,
No. Never heard anything.
if I don't want.
That's what I'm guessing.
Well, we'll
You
probably
would
have,
think he'd say something, you know.
What are you talking about?
Snow fence up at East Fork.
Mm.
Trying to come from the other direction. Waiting on a landowner's response.
okay, well, we'll probably have to wait here and listen, just transportation thing, not, but you're the one that does a lot of the Blackfoot requesting permission stuff, so probably need you to stay here and listen to what he's proposing. But this one here is they want to sign, this is that one that we held up from last week. Is there any public comment for road supervisor Paul?
No.
No, so we'll move on. If you guys read this over and look what it's just a roadway functional classification review. Just, we'll make a motion on signing it.
I make a motion that, the roadway functional classification review be signed for the Montana Department of Transportation.
I'll second it.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. They're just, did you look this over? Yeah, they're just looking at stuff that they might try to do.
Did you sign that other paper? This-
Okay, we'll go on to the Blackfoot requesting permission to access conduit on north side of Flint Creek Dam. Go ahead and come on up and state your name and what you're doing.
Hi there. My name is Jason Robertson.
You can go all the way.
All the way in
Yeah.
to
I
here.
gave you this because you're on Zoom.
All right.
Hi there, I'm
Oh,
Jason.
just a second, I had
Oh.
Elena threw her hand up. Go ahead, Elena. I'm sorry.
There she is. No.
Sorry about shutting you off there. Go ahead.
Thank you, Elena Gagliano for the record. Going back to what you were talking about, the road reclassification. They mention frontage road by Bear Mount. What are they doing with that?
That's up to the state. They haven't brought nothing to us. That's all Department of Transportation. Has nothing to do with the county. They said they'd get a hold of us if they were gonna start doing something, if they had to use our back road. But I haven't heard a thing, Elena.
Okay, so there was no action to do this, just that you read it, right? No action. So there was just that you read it, correct?
What's that? I was still
So-
talking, explaining to you what they told me and you cut in.
Well, okay, I thought you finished it. So there was no action by the county commissioners regarding this. So there was no motion or anything. It was just reading it, right? Am I correct?
There was a motion.
There was a motion, yes.
To
there
do
was.
what? What was the motion to do?
Accept what they send us. This is just stuff that they're looking at. It's not they're not sure what they're gonna do. It had nothing to do with that.
Are we
I wouldn't-
signing off on that? Is that what she's asking? So that's what the motion was, is sign off.
So basically a plan to make a plan, really.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
So. it's
So-
all good.
Oh, okay, because I was confused. A motion, not a motion, second, I don't, thank you.
Okay, we're going on to you, sir. Sorry.
It's all right. Not sorry, but I'm here to request permission to use the 4-inch conduit that you guys are going across your dam that I guess Granite County is responsible for from the digging that we've done. I got pictures of what the conduit looks like. I got like kind of a game plan on where we're going with it. And
You want to
basically,
use this conduit?
we want to use that conduit. Yes, sir. Runs over the top of the dam.
Is there room in it?
That's a question I was hoping you guys could tell me, but we would verify it before we used it.
We don't know how much you're putting in there.
We're gonna use basically a half an inch size cable going in it. So we're talking,
How big your conduit?
we're gonna we could put a conduit in it if you guys would like, or we could use I was just feeling we could just pull it right through the conduit. Unless you guys want it separated, we are willing to do that. If we do that, we could put a 0.75 conduit through that conduit and then put our cable through it, or we put 1.25 inches, or we could just send the cable through by itself.
So what's in it now?
It's a wire
Electricity
for
or-
the dam.
I was thinking it was phone service already.
Oh,
But
okay.
I could be totally wrong. Something's got to feed that over there on the other side
Yeah.
of it.
Cause they fixed some of that. We'd have to ask Great West. That'd be something that Jeremiah, to see if they'd know what's in there and stuff. I'm not quite sure what's all in there.
Yeah, that'd be my advice, to talk to Jeremiah, and then the county has a encroachment permit application. It's just a simple application. Are you all right? You're already on.
You're on it.
So
But we wouldn't sign it until
That-
they look
yeah.
at it to make sure that it's feasible. Cause then they might even have to ask, I'm not sure what's all in that. If it's just for that lights there or. Cause remember we changed some of the plugins and stuff because they didn't meet.
So isn't there
First.
phone stuff up there from Quest or whatever it is now?
CenturyLink.
Yeah.
I think it's CenturyLink that you guys have out in that end of the realm.
Could we give him permission to talk to like Jeremiah or something and find out what's in it? Cause they'd know more than us.
Well, I think,
We should talk to them.
yeah, but I think if there's room, if there's plenty of room, I can't see why we wouldn't let you do it. You're our phone service, so, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just don't know what's in there or what.
Yeah, and this would be all tending on if we got room in there. If it's going to be tight, we'll come up with another plan. We go around the long way around the lake, which would be not beneficial for us, but.
So the reasoning for this is you're getting service on the other side?
Yes,
Is
we're
that what
gonna,
you're
we're gonna
doing?
feed over, and then that's gonna fall into my next questions is, I guess JB Ray, who's the network administrator, he met with you last July. And he asked if he could bundle all the permitting up into one.
Yeah.
And I'm the permitting guy. So now I'm here trying to find out what I could get and how you guys would like, because for instance, on this, I could give you guys sheets like this, as in for everything where we're going in your guys' county, or I could give it to you on a flash drive. I didn't know how you guys wanted me to come prepared today on that. And I didn't expect anything. I just wanted approval for the next step, more or less. This is this,
Permits are hard copy, right?
Yeah. And what we talked about before was just permitting, not necessarily the whole job on one, but like 10 permits on one.
okay. And I'm willing to work with you guys. You guys are the boss here on this one, so I'm willing to work with however you guys want to do it.
So, so far down each road or whatever. Certainly not every single one. We talked about that. Just being crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm following up on that from what JB has left off on that. I just want to make sure that I'm complying with everything that you ladies and gentlemen would like to.
So you have to get easements too from property
That will be my next step, to go through the private property. I have them all broken out already on that end of it. Now, what we don't have public utility access for, I will be going door to door and getting those utilities.
So is this in Granite County or in both?
Granted, I got part of our project is in Deer Lodge, and part of that stuff on that lake is you guys. So I got a 2-part project going on here. After this, I'm going to Anaconda. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bundle this up, because the contractor is going to be ready to go as soon as the snow melts, as you guys are with the roads. We like to get ahead of the roads, fix roads if we come through. But we're weather permitting, all that stuff. We're just like you. We're in that limbo land too. So
And is there gonna be boxes on the right of ways? Keeping them off?
we will be in the public right of way, and we are going to have surface mounts, and they'll have a 4-foot pole that comes out of the back of them, which for locating purposes and whatnot. But we could do them flush. I could leave them up an inch. I recommend a flush, because then if he comes through with his plow, he's not going to hit it. We don't. And I'm going to keep everything at the back of the right of way, wherever we're going.
What do you think?
No, I think that's good. Keep them flushing. Keep them on the back of the right away.
All
Anything that's up, put them poles on.
Yeah, and they're orange. You're going to see them coming, unless we get a super storm and we're over 4 feet in one storm. You're not going to hit them. And ideally, what the existing cable that is there, I'm going to try to stay 2 foot off of that. At the back, if I get to the back of it, say that the CenturyLink came through and they put it at the edge of the road, I don't want to plow on his road. I don't plow on your guys' road. I'm going to keep my guys at the back of that right of way. So I'm always going to be fighting to stay at the back of the right of way to keep your guys' stuff clean. And I don't want to deal with him. So we're going to try to.
We don't either.
We want to comply to everything that you guys want. But I'm just at the point what I'm here is the dam is a kind of big focal point, because we'll have to do a lot of changes if we can't get access to that. That's why my boss has set me up here to find out about that.
What if it come down to it that you had to just put a bigger conduit across it? Would you be willing to do something like that too, to save all that going around?
We will address anything that we can to get across that. We got a big cable. We got a 144 cable going across. It's going to feed a lot of houses. To come around, we are going around the lake and coming back around, but it dies halfway in between. So I will have to go back and re-engineer everything to come the rest of the way. So ideally, getting across this dam is
Why not just, if that one's full, put your own conduit?
if that's an option, we could throw an inch and a quarter on it, band it to that or whatever. But I would.
I thought if they could put a bigger one and then just have one conduit and put everything through it.
Because it's way cheaper for them just to put their own on there and leave whatever's in that one alone.
And the contractors would be a lot happier if we could put our own there, because they'll just put it out. We could band it with some metal bands or something around that existing conduit. That's definitely an option for us.
If that is easier for you.
It's not, my opinion, if you look at the pictures that it will appearance wise, you probably wouldn't be as impressed with it, because it's going to be orange, or I could probably find some different color stuff. But What Blackfoot will provide is the 1.25 inch duct that you might see stick when we've gone under a road and it sticks out. I don't know if you have any of those in your county right now, but I could definitely band it to it. I was just trying to keep it nice coming in, going out. I'm looking for a house out this way, so I don't want to drive by and look at it myself.
So what you're saying is that just to keep it nice, you want to
Go inside of it.
go inside it. And so what we're saying is that if there's room, you can go inside it, right? That's
Yeah.
how we feel.
It's
So,
got room and it-
we're just-
all acceptable at Great West, so should have to deal with FERC as well there. But
Yeah. So,
We need a
yeah,
Motion for that, or?
it looks like you wanted like a go ahead at least, or I guess the motion would be for the county contact Great West, to have them look into it.
so Great West knows what's in there. And that's why we contact them.
I know
So
it's
shouldn't,
for
shouldn't they
rules.
pay for it? If Great West looks into it?
Either costs, you can, yeah, you can make that a condition.
Hmm?
You could make that a condition. Yeah.
it's your guys'
I'll make
conduct.
that motion that we go through Great West, and if there's any cost, that Blackfoot picks it up.
We have no money in our fund.
I don't know how. We could adapt to that. We could even get some stick pipe like this, maybe a smaller gauge, and keep it the same
I
color
just
white.
look and see what's in there. If you can run it, run it.
And then I do on this side, this is the state highway side. I'll be at 42 inches when I intercept into that there. On the other side where I come out, I'll be at 36. That would be your information that you would care about.
Yeah, and our state highway said we had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, so yeah, on the other side, you guys would be.
Right.
So about I'll be 36 coming out until I get, well, actually the whole way through, it'll be 36, everything.
So is that your motion, Chuck? Do I have a second?
I second.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried back.
Carry on.
You guys like pictures or anything? Are you guys good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I might as well keep them.
Do you guys want that copy too of that?
Yeah, we'll
I
stamp it
got
in.
I got more copies than I could deal with, man. I had the
Yeah.
we did an original one. I had to edit that one, but I have an original one I can email to you guys if you want to. But that one's just edited for me.
Do you want to email it to me and
Yes.
then I will connect you with Jeremiah Bates?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
So we're gonna get it over to Jeremiah, or they?
We're gonna work together.
Working
Blame it on Billy.
together.
Yeah. It's all on Billy.
Well,
Thank you for saying that.
Oh, good. Thanks.
you bet. See you guys later. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go off till 9:50.
There you go.
Okay, we're back on and we're for Brandon Parrott, Dam Kinder's report and Georgetown Lake outflow review and decision. The lake's at 6428.12, 16.56 inches came up.
No move, do we stay the same?
I second.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Motion been carried and passed, we'll leave the same. Starting to come back up anyway, that's good. It's gonna take a lot, man, that snow is dry. I was out all for the last couple days and it was just terrible, but there ain't no moisture.
Then it could
Are they
start
waiting for
raining
cake?
in a month, and
I think
They're waiting for
that-
cake.
I think they might be. They're lighting candles.
What are you doing?
What?
We're lighting candles. They're lighting
60 of them?
candles.
Yeah.
Somebody started
Happy
firing.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Scott. Happy birthday to you.
don't blow on it.
Make it Good
Make a
wish.
wish.
Make a wish.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Wait, came back.
Oh,
You
it's
did
one
that
of
in
them,
Richmond
huh?
Country.
Just get on it.
I think like sparking.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody want a piece? Call him Sparky. Do you want a piece?
Sure,
Little,
I'll have a piece.
sure, thanks.
Sure.
I can't. You can't, sorry. I'll mash it up. I haven't been right. Yeah, but you still should. You're not eating for 2 years? So it's a huge process.
So,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Happy birthday.
House. And then I
Oh,
have to eat,
thanks.
and then I have to go back to the bathroom and brush my teeth, and then I have to floss, and I have to use mouthwash, and I have to clean these, and I have to come back in. That's super exciting.
I lose some weight,
How do you get those?
how often, every time you eat?
And you're supposed to wear them 22 hours a day, so you're supposed to give yourself only 2 hours of a day.
Tough to get it out.
No, but they click in. It's just like,
Do we have any public comment on the Flint Creek Dam outflow? We did get a report from the dam tender. I'll make sure that they knew that on the, I already put it in the book. I think he tried calling in too. The phone was ringing, but
Oh, it was.
we were, yeah,
we were singing.
yeah.
We're singing.
you wanna put this with your damn stuff or something?
I think we should, you know, we can stamp it too, so we know when we got it. That way it's
Thanks.
You betcha.
Thank you.
Well, and I do probably a separate file on
Thank
that.
you.
Building,
Okay.
so it's for future
No.
commissions, yeah, have all
Of this.
a separate file for that.
So on
Okay.
your query whether or not for the plumbing thing, the budget was 300,000 for maintenance and repair. And they only expended 26. So the
Plus-
county building has,
Plus with the jail, you can use ARPA funds if needed.
cool, yeah, so we're
And
fine.
there's some other potential funding. there's
Yeah, if I
always
can
order.
find it.
So the Blackfoot guy that was in here, there was the one that we had the issue with East Fork.
Too, I thought,
We did at that time tell him for future coming in with the encroachment application, he's doing that, so.
that's who I thought it was. I remember his name. I thought, huh? That's why I tried to make sure we're keeping them off. Right?
Yeah, you're doing it right.
The napkin.
You need a fork? No? Use your hand?
I already started with my fingers.
I see I got the one with the candle hole, so you're not getting my spit.
Need 60 of them. Huh? Might have burned out the courthouse.
Please don't say that.
No, you're looking young, you don't look 60.
Thanks, Chuck.
60 is young,
It is.
truly.
What year did you graduate from high school?
81.
Is that a good year? I think.
Year
Oh, good.
before was when Mount St. Helens blew up and all that.
Right, yeah.
When did you graduate?
90, only 90.
68.
that a good year?
Bunch of kids. 67 was the best.
57.
It was a great year. It was. Nation won that.
For my day,
Were you born?
72.
You were even born.
I was born.
Hey.
I was born in 84.
84.
I'm the one born in the 40s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
49.
50. Yep, 1950. I'm an old lady. This is good. Nice and moist. It's smelly spicy.
Right over it. Hello?
Hello.
You can come in here too? Okay.
Not yet, relax.
Well, 3 minutes.
I just,
We don't want to get in trouble with anyone on Zoom.
Oh, I see, yeah.
What's new?
Oh, just so I know, I heard that Tester is not for them.
He's what?
I heard that Tester was not for them.
For what? The
Wilderness
wilderness?
bill.
Oh, that would put a kibosh.
I don't know if
on
that's
it.
true or not.
Wants to get reelected.
all right, we're a minute early, we can go back on.
We stayed on, you never told us to go on.
I wasn't sure if I hit something here.
No.
Okay, we're going back on, or we've been on, sorry. The update on the Granite County Courthouse bathroom repair and project. Janine's here, the janitor.
Yeah, Carol suggested that we get that other bathroom back up and going. It really doesn't need much to get going, just some tile on the flooring, possibly, because it's the one they tore up. There's pieces still that need to be taken out and new one put in. And to put the toilet back is not that big a deal. Just need a new ring and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Because she has a feeling that the judge might be coming back over here sooner than later, and he want his bathroom back.
We have to get quotes on it, or we have quotes on that fixing it?
We don't. We were waiting for the other whole new bathroom thing to happen, so we haven't done anything with that. It's
So you
just
were
still
waiting
sitting
for
there.
I suppose we'll have to get somebody to
Yeah.
give us a price. We can't just say, go ahead and fix it without knowing, because I don't know what all they got. I thought they had to tear some of the boards and shit out.
No, they didn't.
Is
They worked up a bit, but everything went back into place after we had that, you know, what was it? Whatever that restoration company come in and dried out.
Go
It's
ahead,
all
Blaine.
pretty
As
much back.
Update on the elevator bathroom project. Remember you talked to Brandon Robinson, the architect, he's willing to come up and look at it and then talk with the commission, but might be, there's no guarantees on when he said he'd try to do it as soon as he could. But I talked to him on the phone, he seemed like a good guy, and Paul O'Leary, been on the airport board and on the Valley Fire District board, recommended him.
What do you think
Missoula.
do you think we should go ahead and just fix the bathroom so we have it ready just in case if they're coming back and then we worry about that other stuff down the line? It shouldn't cost that much to put a new toilet and I don't know,
Just some flooring and mount the toilet again and we're ready to roll.
There's no rock in
find
the
somebody
floor
to
there.
do it. Are you capable of doing it?
Putting a toilet in?
No, I'm
Yes,
serious.
but I'll draw the line. No, I can put the toilet in. That's no problem.
I'm
But
serious.
laying the
I
floor,
don't-
if we just get some squares, and that ain't hard to do either. Just the hard part's gonna be is getting the old stuff up again, or still. Because it's it's not level, put it that way.
Is there any, do you know of a plumber that could do this or I don't know.
I know of a plumber, but I don't know that he would do the flooring. You might have to get two different people. Or a general contractor that can do both.
That's what I mean. I don't. Cause if we're gonna do it, better do it right.
Yeah.
Not saying that you can't. I'm just,
Right.
Which bathroom is it?
The one that got flooded,
The women's
the
bathroom.
women's
Why would
bathroom
we
on the
fix
third
it if
floor.
We're gonna take it all out again.
Well, she's saying that the judge is coming and we need to have more bathrooms up there for the court cases. Right? Isn't that what she's
Yeah,
trying
pretty
to go
much,
now?
yeah. That's pretty
Well,
much
there's
it.
a civil trial coming up, so the judge is gonna be,
And
I think-
who's to say how long we're gonna be before we ever get going into this other stuff?
That's
It seems
true.
like we just gotta keep engineering and,
I don't think it'd
so-
cost that much to do it, to be honest with you. The toilets there still can be used. Just a few things.
As long as
flooring
we
and
can use it and it's.
the labor to
you
put it
know,
in,
We
basically.
might as well fix it and use it. You guys good with that?
It's just a maintenance thing, I think, yeah, go ahead, replace the toilet, fix it.
you wanted to get 3 estimates, or I don't know if you.
Nah,
I
I
don't
don't
think it's
think
even
that
gonna
is-
cost that much. I think just get someone local if you can, or like, if you knew someone that could do it.
Mhm. I'll find someone, I'm sure I could find someone.
Yeah, there's a
You know.
lot of locals here that.
It's just,
I just don't know how busy everybody is. And
Right,
I mean,
that's the
if
whole
we're gonna
deal,
do
too.
this, need to get it going on it right away.
and those that are able
What
to
about
do it.
Tesla?
He's got the dome and the jail cell, but I mean, he could do it, but
It'd probably take a day.
Yeah, it wouldn't take more
Maybe
than
we
a
should
day,
ask
I'm
him.
sure of it.
You wanna
Yeah,
ask him, Blaine, or
yeah,
text or email or whatever?
it's just the toilet and the.
yeah,
floor.
just some flooring and the toilet remounted.
I can-
We don't need to get a new toilet, unless y'all want one.
You already have the toilet?
Yeah, the toilet that's there is fine. It just will need a new ring and new bolts and, that kind of stuff, just to mount it again. It's not a
Maybe
big deal.
Do you want me to ask him?
I think, go ahead with
Yeah.
that. Do we have to have a motion on this, I suppose, to go ahead and fix?
I'll make that motion to talk to Tesla or someone else.
Just
And
some,
get it done, the flooring and
And that would be separate from what we're doing with him right now. It would be a separate,
Just,
yeah.
submitting a
He's-
separate bill.
A whole separate deal. Yeah.
he's got the insurance. and he needs it, and
He's a general
get a contract.
contractor. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't take him more than a day once we get the flooring ordered, or if they got anything down here even. It's just a little room.
maybe
It's,
we could fix the handle on
yeah, I get him to fix that too, because I can't figure that thing out.
What is it?
A handle on the bathroom downstairs, the men's bathroom, the handle's popping off, and there's no screws or holes or nothing to get in there to suck it back together. It's a weird
You
hand.
might just need a new one.
That's an, and I think, yeah, that's a good possibility too. We're gonna go with something that I can work on next time. Because this one is just weird.
You second it, Blanche?
I second it.
Any public comment on fixing the toilet and the doorknob downstairs? Seems none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Go ahead and Blaine will get old Dave and Dave.
Can get a hold of me. He knows how to. All right. That's all I got. Thank you very much.
you.
Y'all have a good day.
Sure. We're gonna go off till 10:15. Okay,
And guys, I'm sorry, yeah.
we're back on for the Department of Motor Vehicles requesting office space in the Granite County's courthouse. Discussion and decision. Vicky and Sarah are both here. Go ahead.
So the Department of Motor Vehicles, and this is the Driver's License Bureau, the supervisor came from Missoula and asked if we would be interested in letting them have an office, and they would pay rent. She looked at the elections office, and then but then that's up to Sarah. And then I also had her go down and look at the where we have the solid waste, the county superintendents. They would do the wiring. And hopefully this would lead into maybe like 2 times a month. She said they started out in Superior as once a month, went to 2 times a month, and now they are 5 days a week over there. And they also do all their own money and everything else. So, and if you want somebody to come over and visit, I can set that up too. But I just told them I would need to let you guys know, and then they're gonna let me know more.
So Vicky, so when they say that it's 5 days a week now, so is that 1 week a month it's 5 days, or it's every day?
See, and that's why I don't know. See, that's why I don't know if that's such a good idea if we do that one over there. That's why I think downstairs would be better, and it's handicapped accessible. It's downstairs too.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
So, yeah.
That would be really good because it's.
I know it's a small office, but I think we can configure it, so I think it would work out. I think actually it's a better option. It is downstairs, but
Especially because of the ADA.
That, and we don't know how many days a week this will lead into.
Right, and they
So
don't want
if
to
you-
have to redo all the wiring for one office and then end up.
And then saying, well, we can't do it 5 days a week up here, so. So I just kind of want to let you guys know, keep you in the loop, that they're interested in maybe having a full-time office here or some kind of driver's license up. I thought she was gonna say, we're gonna close your office, because honestly, they closed Anaconda. So, and they were once a week over there.
So then it's better because of the security, not to use the elections office,
Yeah.
but to have their own office.
Yeah,
And then no one's in there but them.
but them.
Yeah.
Which we would be, I mean, I have that closet, but it's locked. That's the superintendent stuff. And we can figure out like the dump stuff and put it all in that one corner back there or something, whatever. We can figure something out.
So wouldn't they want your stuff out of there if they're renting the office?
I don't know, but where am I gonna put that stuff?
Hopefully it works.
But if they're renting the office,
Yeah.
they are renting that space and that space is theirs.
So maybe they agreed to a non-exclusive.
Yeah.
Lease.
Maybe they
That's
would,
something to talk about.
yeah. We can talk to them about that.
Yeah, they're just saying that,
Yeah.
why should they pay rent when you're storing your stuff there? Is all I'm saying.
What if we could
Just
just
depending
combine
on
your
how-
offices into one and empty one office?
Combine what office?
Like your elections office and your storage? Or does that not work?
What's that?
No. What do you have, what do you have in the vault?
That's where like the ballots that we have to hang on to for 2
Okay.
years, and I've got my express votes and my.
Okay, because that's what I
But
have
if
in
you've
that
got, I
closet.
mean, we've got, I mean, I can see what you have in the closet, if you wanna, we could.
Oh, there'd probably be where you could maybe do just the closet for you and it's closer to you.
Whatever stuff
Yeah.
that you
Because
have
there's
in your
plenty of
closet,
room there.
we could.
She
certainly
could
move
give you
that
some
around.
of her election stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that, her election space.
All these, yeah, I mean, we've got options. We should take a look
Yes.
at that. And visiting with them and exactly what they are, I just,
What
yeah,
they need or what they
right.
would settle.
And if
for
it is
maybe.
gonna turn into something a little bit more than it.
One
would
day
be
a
good
month.
Idea
Yeah,
to do,
idea to use the office across the hall, just if they end up wanting more and more time.
All right, any public comment?
Elena.
Elena, go ahead.
Thank you. For the record, Elena Gagliano. I think that's a great idea. I had the pleasure of waiting last week for 3 hours to get a government ID. And good point, Blanche, that Anaconda is closed. I think you said it, or maybe Vicky said it. Anaconda is closed, their motor vehicle. So you're going to get a lot of people coming over here too. And it was kind of messy. As I said, when I was there, people sitting there not knowing where to go. And so if there was another office, I think that'd be a great idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, and like with the elections, you probably get a couple cabinets or something just for you and put off in a little corner.
Mhm.
If you wanted to get it out of
For
there. And then
this.
it's handier for you because you just,
For superintendent.
because there's lots of room, right? Space. She would give you some space, I'm sure, wouldn't you, Sarah?
Because you apparently need security too, for your.
For the
stuff.
superintendent
Yep.
stuff, and it's
So
mostly
then we
actually the old stuff that's down
We can
there.
keep
that-
our security.
Okay, yeah.
You can't have the vault though.
We can see this for a while.
Okay, all right.
Well, thank
Is
you.
that it? Okay, thanks, guys.
So next step, they're gonna come.
They're supposed to be letting me know what they figure out.
Kind of leave it up to you guys to make it work. Okay, we'll go off until 10:30. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the Johnson Minor Subdivision Final Plat Approval Discussion Decision. Linda's here.
Yeah, so you should have gotten the letter. This is Chuck Johnson's subdivision. He's complied with all of his requirements. He couldn't make it today because he's got calving and stuff going on, but I don't see any reason we can't approve today and sign the plat and get this one done.
So
Is this the same one we talked about before?
Yeah, this is where he had started a subdivision and then kind of dropped the ball after the structure burned and we have to restart, so. But he's done now. This should be his final and filed one and we'll be done with it.
So I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we accept Johnson Minor Subdivision plan approval.
Final plan.
I second it.
Any public comment on this? Being none, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Motion carried passed. We'll go
Okay.
ahead and sign it.
Yep.
You got the pen?
Yep, I got the pen.
Got a user handy dandy one.
Mhm.
And then there's 3 copies for you. Nope, they're good to, on the rest of that.
Do I have to send you a letter of any?
There's a letter that goes to Chuck, a final plat saying that it's been finalized.
Okay. I'll
It-
look for it.
yeah, it
and
should
I'll
be
send
in
it
my-
to you to make sure it's
Yeah.
the right one.
Yeah, it just doesn't log.
Yeah. It just gives like the legal, anybody affected. That's the part you need.
There's maybe one.
There you go, Pat.
Lots of costs, but
Whoop, I'm sorry.
Is there multiple copies that you sign?
yeah, there's 3 there.
Did you sign all 3, Scott?
Hmm?
You signed all 3?
2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
I know.
Oh, Oh, it
two
is.
22 today. It'll be 2:22.
Oh, wow. I forgot that. You see there on February 2nd, 2022, there were 2 kids, or 2 or 3 kids born at 2:22 in the afternoon. To see it today, they are born at
Yeah.
2:22. And Scott turned 60 on Sunday, so.
Thanks.
Do you feel any older?
I told him he did not look 60.
You don't, do you?
Check this repeat.
Another day.
My daughter threw me a surprise birthday party when I turned 60, and I so furious with her.
Everyone jumping out at you. give you a heart
All
attack.
she had a Sunshine Station, everybody was, tons of people were there, and I was just furious. Okay, I'm 60.
Okay, we're back on now. Drafted letter to Congressman Matt Rosendale, Senator Steve Daines, and Senator John Tester concerning HR 1755 wilderness stuff. Chuck, go ahead.
Yeah, I read it and I think Max and I agreed that one little sentence had been modified. Other than that, it was a great letter.
Okay, so did we have to entertain a motion on this, or we already did? So we just
I
gotta
do.
modify it?
Yeah, I do have a motion on it.
Okay.
Do you want to check it?
Entertain a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to send the letter. I think we also ought to send it to Mako. They request.
Yeah, I can email it to you out.
So I'll make a motion to send this to all the legislators and Mako
And whoever else we can think of.
and whoever else. Yeah.
I'll second it.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Elena has a comment.
Elena.
Oh, go ahead, Elena.
Thank you, Elena Gagliano, for the record. Did I hear something that there was going to be a change on it? And what would that change be, please? And then I have a comment.
The change was, I don't know, 1, 2,
Fourth
3,
paragraph.
fourth paragraph, first sentence. There is already sufficient designated wilderness area in Granite County, XX acres, in fact. We were gonna drop off the XX acres, in fact. So it'll be a period.
Oh. Okay, well, that's good because I was going to bring up, we have more than 20 acres. Why don't you put in exactly how many acres we have?
So that's why it was XX, so it
Yeah.
could be put in, but we don't.
We want to get this letter, so no, we don't want to.
Oh, I see, because it is, you can find it online, how many acres is designated wilderness. Thank you.
Ever,
Okay, so.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good job, you guys. Good job.
Yeah, thanks.
And then we're definitely saying, do it.
there's no more comments on that, we'll go off until 11. Okay, we're back on for the ongoing negotiations with Flint Creek Hydro and Judge McLean. I haven't heard nothing and Blaine hasn't heard nothing, so
I haven't heard it.
this is one of these deals that we put on just for every week, just in case. So, is there any public comment on this? Being that there's not, we're gonna move ahead and go, Ty Halton's deputy is here to talk to us about the Granite County Jail plumbing issues, discussion and decision. We'll move right on to him, cause he's here and he's busy. Thank you. Come on up.
He's busy, he doesn't look busy.
I'm very busy. I don't really know what's going on, and the sheriff asked me to step in this today. The front cell toilet needs replaced. Brad Hager's gonna be doing work. That toilet's gonna run about $1,400. It's a stainless steel specialty item toilet, you know. He ran into a problem with the supply line. It's not big enough for it, so he's gonna have to replace that. Scott figures it's gonna be around $1,000.
Well, we don't have no choice. I'd recommend that we go ahead and fix it. I mean, we have to have it.
Right.
Don't you guys agree? Any comments on this, public?
My recommendation on this type of stuff, if he has those expenses, that he just takes in that range. I guess if it's more than 2,500, maybe have him come in. That'd be my recommendation. Right?
Scott also wanted me to let you guys know that Brad Hager's been more than generous with his prices for his.
Who is he?
Brad Hager, the plumber.
I don't know if we don't get Dave on, if we could use him on to put that toilet upstairs back in.
You know Brad, married to Carmen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, yeah, I didn't know.
If he can do it all, then
Maybe I'd love, but yeah, maybe,
just to get it done.
maybe would you email him and see if he'd be interested in doing the toilet upstairs if Dave can't? Because we kind of said
Yeah.
Dave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that works.
You guys all right with
Is
that?
he looking for work, or are you just doing us a favor?
I don't know. I really don't. I know he does odd jobs on the side. He works for a union out of Missoula there, so.
Oh,
Well, it'd be nice to have an extra one around just for little stuff, you know, then we're passing it around to another person in the county. Are you any good at putting toilets in?
You wanna learn?
It's
No.
on your job description. On the other note, you guys are doing an awesome job. I appreciate your work. Don't know how to tell you thank you, and be damn careful out there. You guys are doing really good. Good bunch of guys.
County's growing.
It is.
She's got more and more problems.
Well, thank you, Ty.
Thank you, guys.
So, I guess we'll take a motion, go ahead and entertain a motion to fix it. I mean, we don't have no choice.
I'll make the motion to go ahead and fix the toilet in the jail. And
Jail plumbing issues.
and related plumbing issues.
Can a guy put in that motion that he could use him whenever to fix stuff like that? Being, or do we have to do every job?
I think he has authority to just have it done. The bigger one that, and the procurement policy says over 2,500, you get like 3 bids and that sort of stuff. But for these types smaller ones, I don't think you need to come into the commission.
Who is this person?
Bradley, he's married. He used to be a deputy. He used to be a
Yeah.
reserve deputy.
He's a
or
reserve, but he
part-time.
still is, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
So-
it does construction work.
do I have a second?
Second.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion been carried, passed, fixed it. Damn, you said. And if we can get a hold of him and if he can fix this, if Dave can't, we'll go ahead and have him throw that toilet and some stuff in up here if he would.
Yeah, I haven't heard back from Dave, but he can't. You want me
Definitely
to reach out to Brad Hagan?
Yeah, reach out to him, would you, Blaine? Thanks. Well, being honest, we're off until 1 o'clock. We're back on, we're a few minutes early, Jim.
She actually sent me an email and she was in a training, so Jackie is going to do her report today.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
So you're giving the report?
I am. Jen is in a class, so I will be giving it.
We better wait a few more minutes,
Sure.
please. What else is going on?
Oh, it's cold out. That's all I know.
Is that building very warm?
Yeah, it doesn't stay bad in here at all.
How long does it take, Blanche? How long did we give to replace that stuff in the ambulances? Do you remember? Or just to go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask you guys what happened about that,
I don't know.
that meeting last week.
Didn't you read the minutes?
It was just a long discussion. Very long.
Just a little venting, more or less.
I was just curious if you heard anything from anybody
No.
else up here. That's all I was.
Mm-mm. And they were wondering, should they proceed with licenses that are due? And we could go forward as if it's normal business because it's in your budget to do it. But yeah, they're little.
Am I putting that back on?
Mhm.
Am I supposed to put that back on the agenda next week?
Just to touch bases and see what they found out.
Yeah.
I haven't heard nothing from none of them, so I seen them, but I haven't really talked to them, so.
I'm
about
not
that.
getting any response. I mean, from, I don't know, it's kind of hard when you're not getting any response, and then the response you get, they're just upset because
We better, we're on. Okay, we're a couple minutes early, but you can go ahead, Jackie. Go ahead and start.
Okay. So we are no longer passing out COVID tests at the Phillipsburg Fire Hall. Jen sat out there last week and never gave any tests away, and the week before she gave away 2. But we do have them available. There's some in Billy's office, and then we're there on Wednesdays at the courthouse and have some available. We have about 120 tests left. We started with 756. So we have contributed quite a bit to the county along with Granite County Medical. There are 8 current cases of COVID in our county. We did have confirmation today from the state that we have had a death that was classified as a COVID death. So we do have 10 deaths since March of 2020. We did take some ranch at Rock Creek, so helping get those distributed out to outlying areas. So I think that's about all I have for FEP.
Okay, is there any public comment on that? I guess you got anything on the Granite County Public Health Department's request?
Yes. So, when we did our updating on our VFC contract in October, we found out that we have a dorm style freezer, and those are no longer compliant with the state VFC program. That's vaccine for children. And so I found a quote for a new freezer that I sent to Billy. And then Anaconda is updating their refrigerator for vaccine and would sell us their used one for $1,500. A new one's about $2,500, $2,750, somewhere in there. The data loggers that we have on our freezer and refrigerator that are required by the state can be used into the new equipment. So we would not have to purchase new data loggers.
Okay, so buying this used one, why were they getting rid of it?
Buys what?
Why did Anaconda want to get rid of this used one? Is it a good one? I didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it is, but they're running out. They have too much vaccine, so they're needing to purchase a bigger one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't include that.
Do you know how old this refrigerator is?
I do not. I think they got it last year.
Okay. So it's not that old. I was just wondering if it was, are we better to get a used one or buy a new one?
Well, it would be quite a savings of just purchasing this one. And I do believe it was last year that they purchased it, and they have ran out of room.
All I was worried about is if you're putting 1,500, if a new one was 25, I don't know how much that medicine is, if we don't want it to go bad.
Right. Well, and on those data loggers, I have to check the temperature every day, and it needs to be recorded on a daily basis. And that is, then when we are, Jen's got her hand up.
Who does? Jennifer. Oh, go ahead, Jen. Sorry, yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, so that fridge, I'm just in a quick little break real quick, and I was just listening in. That fridge that we have here in the Anaconda Public Health is only a year old, and it is a single door refrigerator that the state has approved, but we are going to a double door refrigerator because we have too much vaccine for that single fridge now. So we would like to sell it to Granite County by saving them, or saving you guys, about $1,000 to $2,000 to buy a new one.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what Jackie was saying. I was just curious. Sometimes, you're better just to buy a new one, not saying that this is one of them spots, but it's pretty, I just don't want the medicine, that stuff costs so much too, but if you feel it's comfortable and it'll be all right, it's up to you guys.
Okay.
We all are agree. I don't know, we'll make a motion on it, I suppose, and go from there.
I'll move that they go ahead and get that year-old refrigerator from Anaconda.
I'll second it.
Any public comment on that?
What's the dollar amount?
1,500, yeah.
And then I do have a question then.
Go ahead and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it's a big motion's been carried and passed. Jackie, you can go ahead and get it.
Okay, and does that include the freezer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you guys think you need, now you better get it.
Right, because that is the freezer that I sent the quote to you guys on that is also approved by the state.
Okay.
Oh, this is a separate thing?
I was just reading the front part. I didn't see.
No, as I said, we have the dorm style type freezer, and those are no longer compliant with the Vaccine for Children program. So we need to update our freezer also. And then, so I sent a quote for a Summit AccuCold, and those are 985 new.
Okay, well, we'll amend that. We'll just redo the motion, just pass them both if these guys are good with that.
So the refrigerator is separate.
And the yeah.
And then the freezer is new?
Yeah.
Yeah, the freezer would be new.
I didn't see the
Do we have
second
all the money
page.
and all that stuff?
Yes. Yeah,
So
they
I'll
have
amend my
them.
motion to include the freezer, new freezer.
So one question, Jackie, can you kind of take that like maybe out of immunizations or something?
We can, and we have excessive budget as like 35,000 in that immunizations. So this can be taken out of that budget, and because it is for immunization. So yes.
I was gonna tell you, she told me they had money in their plans for that. Sorry.
Yeah, there's 35,000 in there that hasn't been spent from years gone.
Are you gonna second it?
Second it.
Any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
So you can get them both.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. What else you have?
What else is the next?
Area 5.
Area 5. Okay, let me get my notes. I have made some notes here. So Joe Gilboy, I had talked to him last week, and so we got some ARPA funds that came into the Area 5 contract. So we need to present it to you guys to amend it. It will be an additional $5,775 with a local match of $1,019. Currently, we have 15 clients, and if anybody has any inquiries about the program, they can sure let us know. It's of no cost to the clients, but donations are accepted. We do have a new home companion that we hired, and she is starting this week. And so that will be helpful to, we had one client or one person doing all 15. So that will be helpful. We're going to send out a client survey to see what, to our current Area 5 clients, to see what additional needs they might be doing and maybe where we can help them out. So with that additional $1,500 or $5,000, before we bought games and puzzles and word finds and coloring books and pencils and things like that to kind of keep these homebound people engaged. So the extra funds are helpful.
Coloring books. Do you have a special one?
I do, Scott.
Anyway, do I have a motion on that? Amend, I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit. Main contract for Area 5, kind of rolled it all in together here.
So do you need a motion on this? This is just for amending it. We agreed to amend it to get the extra money.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I make a motion that.
Was it like a 1 year or what? I mean,
See, what it is they got some money from the ARPA funds, and they got an extra $5,000. So they have to amend the Area 5 budget
for 1 year.
to allow the 5,000. Would just be an adjusting entry.
Well, it just depends on if
So-
they might get some next year too. Never know.
So Jackie, this is just for this budget year, the 5,000?
Yes.
Okay, so what you're trying to do is amend this budget year?
Yes,
The-
this is additional funds for this budget year. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's effective date, Blanche, I don't know if you have it in front of you. It's from February 1, 22 through June 30th of 22.
Okay. Okay, I make a motion that we. What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing.
$1,000 to be added into this fiscal year's budget.
I would just say amend the contract and the budget. Or-
Amend the contract and the budget.
I'll say.
Any public comment on this? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion been carried past. Did you get that, Jackie?
I did, thank you.
Is there something that has to be signed by the commission? Okay,
Yes.
I guess signed
Okay.
it here when we made the motion.
And then, yeah, and we need to get that back to Joe, so.
okay.
Okay, we better wait a little bit. I got us going pretty fast through this.
Yeah.
Don't wanna. It's kind of all there with you guys anyway. I don't know why it should be all right if we jump into the professional service agreement renewal.
That's fine. I got some other things to do. I can wait.
Okay, if you wanna wait,
Well, it's totally your call.
you know.
She was saying, I think she can just do it now, so she can go do something else.
Yeah, go ahead and do it now, and then that way you can go do something else.
Okay. So we have a consulting agreement with Cindy Ray for doing our billing through public health for vaccine services. And it had not been updated, so we just needed to change the contact as Debbie Robinson. I sent the agreement to Cindy Ray, and she reviewed it and had no changes.
Cool. That's a good deal.
Jackie, this is Blaine. So would this be good through like the end of June of like 23, or what were you thinking for?
Yeah, I believe that would be, yes, to the end of 23.
End of June 23.
Yep.
June 30th.
We get that. Is there a motion on that? Why are
I
you
make
making me
a
laugh?
motion that we accept the consulting agreement with Cindy Ray for consulting. Sorry. What?
The term ending June 30th, 2023.
Okay, what he said. No, just, all right, let me, we're getting a little silly here.
It's a cold. It's
Is it?
brain freezing.
So yeah, accepting the consulting agreement with Cindy Ray for a term ending current through term ending through June 30th, 2023.
And this consulting is just doing the billing for the county health department?
Yes.
Are you waiting for me to answer that?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is for the county health.
So I mean, why is it called a consulting agreement?
But she does the
She
bill.
She's a contract employee.
Does she have
She's
to
a
have
co-
workers' comp? Prove that
She has
workers' comp?
She has all.
independent contractor exemption and insurance, so she's an independent contractor. We
Okay.
could have done as employee, but then she also gets her independent contractor exemption, like that fee paid for and her insurance paid for, so similar to being an employee.
So when we're just renewing it from last year?
Yes.
Yeah, it hadn't been updated for year there was a
Two.
little gap, but she was just continuing on under the old one. And this same as the old one too, it's the same agreement moving forward.
Do I have a second?
We,
We.
You say we?
Any public comment?
They're gonna tell us to quit being silly.
Being none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, the motion been carried and passed. You can go do something else now.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. We'll just stay on in case somebody wants to talk about it. She sent some of them when she did some of that bill, and she saved us, got us. Cause we were hired, you know, having, I remember was having trouble trying to get collected, she did, yeah, she did good job.
So when they have an employee for Area 5, they just hired. That's good. And an
They've
extra
been getting
$5,000.
extra, they've been getting extra help down there too, so it's a good deal. It's picked up a little more.
I'll just call Cindy Ray and have her come up and sign it.
Sounds good.
Did Mako send, what, it's nothing? She's gonna bring it with, or that person is bringing it with.
I don't know if they're bringing it with or if they're hearing on Zoom. She wasn't sure. She was hoping they would be able to come in person.
Did we have any response from anybody, any employee on the Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance?
Some employees kind of wanted to look at it, and I know various employees flipped through the book, and the feedback I received was they all really were hoping you guys would stay with Mako.
And it wasn't Blue Cross, it was Mountain
Health Co-op.
Mountain Health Co-op. The Blue Cross ones were, I think, higher.
Yeah, she didn't even quote them.
Any public comment on any of that stuff? Nope. Nope.
A little advance notice, just on April 12th, I'm gonna zoom in.
you know what?
Zoom in. I'm going to Spokane during spring break for reaping. Drugstore, Spokane.
Hanging out over there for a couple days.
I was just remembering when you were going ahead on your pages. You were getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah,
You get back to this
I
page.
know.
Poor thing.
Yeah, don't be looking ahead until you get told you can turn that.
Hmm?
Don't be looking ahead until you get told you can turn that
Yeah.
page.
Be a good school teacher.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
It's a lot of money for a book.
Oh, yeah, they would have had to. This presentation probably cost them. I would have just brought something like this instead. But Blue Cross Blue Shield has lots of money to spend, right? So did you say you're wearing your Invisalign? You can't even tell.
22 hours out of 24 hours in a day, she better be.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to align your jaw, so.
Those two, they're realigning my teeth to change my bite and realign my bite to take the pressure off of my misaligned jaw. I don't know.
They couldn't just align your jaw.
They could have done jaw surgery.
You have someone like wacky.
Yeah.
So how long do you have to?
2 years.
2 years.
Wow. That's serious.
Right?
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll go away. Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I change the aligners every 10 days. So it'll like start to, they get comfortable and then they hurt because they tighten again. But yeah, I do 1 year and then they're gonna pull some teeth to pull my teeth all the way this big.
Wow. They just asked for a blank check.
I think I would have got jaw surgery.
Yeah, jaw surgery does.
Yeah. Dennis said jaw surgery, the orthodontist was like, I think we can get around it.
Is your son's teeth healing?
Yeah, yeah, they, played this weekend, played great, we had 8 points and 1 rebound steals there, and they got beat by Darby Saturday, though. They won the conference regular season.
Oh, I had you muted. Go ahead, Elena.
Hi, Elena Gagliano, for the record. I had a tune out and I'm back. What happened to the 1:30 agenda item?
The 1:30, it was amended contract for Area 5. We made a motion and passed it.
When did you do that?
Oh, about 127, well, about 123, I guess.
Oh, so you're a little ahead of the agenda. Are you gonna go off until, what is it, 1:50?
No. Why, you got any comments?
No, I was ready to hear the one that you had at 1:30.
Hmm.
So the next one is at 1:40. Did you do that one too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then the one at 1:50, is that going to be at 1:50?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So I'll go get a cup of coffee and come back at 1:50. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
So off to 1:50.
Yeah, we're off to 1:50. It is 1:50. We are back on. County Board appointments, discussion decisions. We'll start out with the first one, and it's on the TV district. Stephen Immenshu. What's your response on that?
Stephen Immenshu has been on the board for the last few years, and if he's willing to be on the board again, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Okay, so is there a motion on Steve Immenshu for the TV district?
I make a motion that we accept Stephen Immenshu on the Phillipsburg TV district.
Any public comment?
That'd be through,
I
like,
think they're 3 years.
3 years, okay. So beginning in October of
2024.
Is it,
What do you?
usually they come up in October,
Yes, that's right.
but if it's a 3-year term,
Do you want it
It was,
to end now or in October?
it's actually what should have already been last episode, yeah, 2024 then.
Okay. Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we'll go to the next one. It's the compensation board for Anna Bergerson. She's out of Hall, Montana. She would like to be on here.
How many openings are on there? Two.
I think there's made up of 4 citizens. And we have 1 citizen on there right now, so we have 3 openings.
Oh, I thought we still had a couple on. Huh. So what's your?
I make a motion that we accept Anna Bergerson's application to be on the compensation board for elected officials.
For what?
For the elected officials. That's what the compensation board is for.
I guess I said.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is Jack Owens for the compensation board. He's out of Phillipsburg, Montana.
Yes. Jack is our local title company person and very knowledgeable. I make a motion, we accept Jackie Jackie, is it E. Owens? Jack Owens on the compensation board.
I second that.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So now we will be off till 2 o'clock.
Elena has a comment.
You're starting.
Oh, Elena's got a comment. Gotta be a little quicker, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Elena Gagliano, for the record. I didn't see anything on the documents for today, just that you were gonna discussion and decision about the, excuse me, the county, can I speak? The county board appointments, okay? Now, it used to be where why are you such in a hurry? It used to be that you did interviews. You're not doing interviews anymore?
No.
No. Interesting. Thank you for the
Thank you.
record.
Yeah, for the record, thank you. Now we're gonna be off till 2 o'clock. Thank you. Two o'clock, we are back on, and this is doing Mako Insurance, and they are getting stuff set up here, so I went ahead and started a couple minutes early. They will announce who they are in a minute. Thank you.
How are you doing? Where do you want me to?
You guys can.
Right in the show. Okay, all right. How are you, Scott?
Good, you.
Good. So,
We gotta wait. No. Oh, okay.
You're gonna wait 30 seconds.
Yes, yes, yes.
he's a stickler.
Okay, go ahead. It's 2 o'clock.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having us today. I think everybody knows me. I'm Pam Walling. I'm with the Mako Healthcare Trust. And I've been coming to Granite County off and on for the last 14 years. So just a few days. And some of you may have met Joanne Ramasco last year. So Billy, that's Billy over there, Scott,
Hi.
Blanche, and Chuck. This is Joanne Ramasco. She is the trust administrator. It's been great having her. For the first time that I've worked at Mako, I'm so thrilled that I have a great boss. She came from Blue Cross. She was with them for 22 years. And so she's added a lot. She's done a lot of great things for the trust. And she hasn't even been here 2 years, right?
I know it. It's
Not even
coming
two.
up on that.
Yeah.
Slowly
So,
but surely.
and then this is Sandra Marks.
Hi.
So
Hi.
How are you?
Sandra, she was actually my baseball coach when I was a kid, but she's from Lewistown too.
Well, I feel sorry for you.
Oh, the stories I could tell you.
And her and I have worked together at Mako ever since I've been with Mako for 14 years. We've worked together almost every day because Sandra actually just recently joined our team, but she came from Allegiance, who's our third-party administrator. They're the company that process our claims. We use their network. And so, you know, it's been great to have her on board. A lot of times, all these years, if somebody called me and asked about questions, about claims, it was almost always I would go to Sandra, and that's who I would visit.
I didn't know if I seen Blake coming in behind me.
Yeah, she gave you
I saw him and I saw him leave. I just thought he was leaving because I was coming in. But I see,
That's
so
nothing personal.
yes, so he's the county attorney and Sandra and Joanne. Joanne, and I know you've met him before though. Well, before I get too far into our discussion, first of all, you know, is there anything in particular that you would like to discuss with us? Do you have any questions, concerns?
I still have a hard time figuring out. I'm terrible at this stuff. But that, like when you gotta come out of the pocket with 3,000 to pay for it as your deductible, I've had a lot of complaints. And I'm one of them. I mean, when you start dishing that out right away, if the people don't have it, what do you do?
Well, so anybody who took the $3,000 deductible, you should have an health savings account set up.
But we just started that, we didn't have it set up. I mean, there wasn't enough in the cover, is what I got told.
Well, you should have had the majority of it in there, but
Then I never got nothing paid back.
okay, so let us help you with that. Because,
Maybe that's just my first, well, this is it, ain't it? We can talk about this.
well, we can talk about it a little bit to a certain extent, but we don't want to go into too much detail. So depending, I have a better example. I'm going to use me instead of you, okay? Because I'm somebody who last July, I moved to a high deductible health plan with a $5,000 deductible. Okay, so I personally did that. And even though I was vaccinated and even though I've never really been sick in my life, I ended up in the hospital for 10 days with COVID. And thankfully, I'm glad you and I had a conversation. And before that, it literally might have saved my life, the conversation that you and I, yeah. And so I literally have this $10,000 or I have a $100,000 hospital bill because I was in the hospital for 10 days, right? Well, my portion that I have to pay is $5,000 because I moved to a $5,000 deductible. Well, I had just been on that plan for about 4 months, maybe July, August, September, October. Well, yeah, about 4 months. So I didn't have all of the money put in my HSA yet, but I had close to a couple $1,000s in there. Well, I was able to take that money right out of my HSA, and then anything remaining that hadn't been put in my HSA, then the hospital can take a payment directly from my HSA account to pay off my hospital bill. And so now in your situation, you guys use a local bank for your HSAs, right? Or Allegiance? Oh, yeah, we can, all we have to do is get that set up then. So that if you haven't done that, and the other thing I did is.
I haven't done it. I don't know this stuff.
That's okay, we'll help you. Between Sandra and I, will help you so that, because technically you're only insuring yourself and you don't have like your any family members on it.
No.
And so you're actually getting more in your HSA account than your maximum out of pocket for the year is. And so you will have reimbursement to cover all of your $3,000. And it might be a little confusing, but I think maybe instead of taking the time at this meeting, when we're done,
It's a personal.
yeah, we can go into how that works.
Okay.
And I'll show you that ultimately that if you have a $3,000 bill, like I had a $5,000 bill, it won't actually cost you anything. You're getting all of that money back from the county to pay that $3,000 that is your max out of pocket.
Okay, yeah, I'll just talk to you afterwards.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, gosh, no, that's okay.
I guess this insurance stuff,
Well,
I'm dumb
it's
enough
its own
to
language.
watch, so I don't
So
understand.
what did happen is we had Blue Cross Blue Shield come in and they presented us with this wonderful little, they had a whiteboard and everything. And
I
but
saw
what
the
they,
whiteboard.
they mentioned that the basic plan
73.
was a non-qualified plan.
And I listened to her presentation.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And so she's mistaken. I know she has a lot of years in this business, but you know, if you add up all of our years in this business, we probably have a good 60 some. Well, with Sandra, heck, she's been at it almost 30 years herself. So, and her and I are about 20 each. So we're probably looking at about 70 hours of it, 70 years of experience.
No, I'm
trying to say.
So
she's wanting you to know I'm older than she is. So
but she was mistaken. And I heard her use the example that she works with Must and their plan is not credible. So remember Shelley that used to come here? So I checked with Shelley. I said, did Must never update their plan? So it's still not a credible plan? And she said, no, but we updated ours in 2011. So anybody that's on our basic plan knows that we pay prescriptions. There's a big list.
Yeah, see,
Well, we got a little debate
yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
She was calling it a discount, like, well, it pays, I'm on that plan, it's pretty good. The pharmacy benefit, or the discount, whatever, I mean, it pay very little.
Interestingly enough, she read the first sentence of that and never read anything else. She never read a couple lines down because I have a copy of her proposal. I saw the list of free medications that they provide. Well, we also have a huge list of free medications, but also if somebody ever hits their $2,000 deductible, we pay 70% of the cost of their medications. And then if somebody hits their maximum out of pocket, we pay 100%. But still before that, any drug that's called on the patient assurance program or PAP program, which is going to be like a lot of insulins that are, insulins that maybe are $300 or $400, they're going to fall under $50. And then there's a great big list of free medications. So she's just outdated. We fixed that in 2011, and I don't know why it's in our document. She just didn't read far enough down into it to see, yes, it does say there's a discount program, but if she read the lines below that and the lines even below that, we do have a true program. So,
and it passes credibility. We do a credibility test every year, and we know it passes credibility.
right. She just was comparing us to Must, and back in 2011, that would have been the truth, but we updated along over 10 years ago. So there's really nothing to be concerned about. She just really misspoke, and I think it probably caused some confusion.
Because your comprehensive plan too that you referred to, you guys did away with that a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So you don't even have that plan option. She quoted that one too at the very beginning.
Well, we didn't, it was hard to understand. That's what I kept telling her. I'm not sure what's going on. Then it was, yeah,
Well,
you turn it back.
Right. So should we talk about the proposal? Because I'm sure you guys looked at the rates, and the rates, and upon first look, they look very good, right? And so it's really a philosophy of you guys here. I mean, essentially, if you look at deductibles and out-of-pockets, all that was just cost shifted to the employees. And so in your packet, Joanne has put together a spreadsheet. I don't think I have a copy of that. Oh, no, I do have a copy of it.
It's this really big one.
This
Trying to
is
fit it all on
the
one page.
You guys are talking this? Okay, good. So,
Yeah, it's this big old, legal one.
right. So this is kind of, okay, so this is how the easiest way to talk about this. If you compare this yellow column to the yellow column over here, and then if you compare like green column to green column over here, and then the blue column to the blue column. So at the beginning of this document, it talks about our current plan offerings, and these rates are with the rate increase. And then the green section or the one that has the header, the green header at the top that says co-op current offerings. This is in comparison to what they want you to offer, right? She gave you guys 3 different plans that were her recommendation. And so what we did is we took those 3 plans that she's offering, and we tried to come to as close of a comparison as possible. And so the first plan, which is probably the most comparable, is going to be the 2 yellow columns. We're going to compare the 2 yellow columns, okay? And so a high deductible health plan is basically a high deductible health plan. We can pay preventive stuff ahead of time, we both have free preventive drug lists, but essentially you have to meet the high deductible before the plan starts to pay. And, we've been offering the $3,000 deductible, which, is considerably more than the $4,400 deductible that she's offering. But we do offer a $4,000, and we also offer a $5,000, but her deductible on that is $4,400. So technically that's $1,400 more than the high deductible health plan that we're currently offering. But just for comparison purposes, we're going to compare that plan to the last column, which is our HD 4000. So when you look at the fact that that plan has a $400 higher deductible for individuals, or an $800 deductible higher for families, And if you look in this section right here that says cost shift to employees, cost shift to employees. On that plan, the way it looks like the out of the deductible and the max out of pocket, that $400 extra and the $800 extra. If all your employees took that plan, it would be about $46,800 that's been cost shifted. And compared to our cost of that plan, there's really just about $1,000 difference. So they're really super close. But then let's talk about the other plans that she referred. Like the first one, I know that Blaine, I think you're still on the basic plan. And so she would offer this silver HRA in comparison to our basic plan. So now I'm talking about the blue plan, the blue columns. And if you look at the fact that she wants you guys to move to a plan that has a $4,000 deductible for an individual or an $8,000 deductible for a family, that's double the amount of the deductible that we're currently paying. We also thought it was worthy in saying that under our basic plan, we pay 70% of the bills. Well, the employee pays 30%. And under her plan, their plan only pays 60% of the bills. The employee would be responsible for 40% until you hit your max out of pocket. Our max out of pocket on that plan is $4,000 for an individual, where their maximum out of pocket for an individual is $8,500. Our maximum out of pocket for a family is $8,000, where the plan she suggested is $17,100.
So it's just double every time she gets put it at a quoted one.
Well, she didn't explain that very well.
Do you want me to show you in her presentation how you?
I'm good. I don't want to.
Because I mean, when Pam and I were talking about this, you know, just at length, because, you know, we wanted to make sure, you know, what is the best offer for you. But it really boils down to just whether or not you want to cost shift the additional cost of the plan to get a lower premium. You're just cost shifting to the employee. So that's why we did these calculations, and I'll let Pam finish walking through. But I mean, like on this one in particular, you're cost shifting about $250,000 in risk to your employees.
Well, the school, they said, yeah, they'd rather have Nichols, and they use the co-op.
They must do the co-op.
No, they use the actual co-op.
Oh, they use the actual co-op.
That's what they said.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
Right, because I mean, so the co-op is, you know, you're right. Anytime you go out onto the exchange, which these are just metallic plans that are what, you know how when Obamacare came, or the ACA when it kicked in Montana, well, then they created healthcare.gov, and you can go out on the exchange and get insurance, and you're going to either get a gold plan, a silver plan, or a platinum. Well,
Yeah,
is it
they're the
platinum?
metallics. Yep.
Mhm. And, or you can get a high deductible health plan. Well, essentially those plans are just not going to be as rich. Like, you know, you go down further on this column where you can see in green, things that we do, you know, we pay DOT physicals. Other health insurance plans don't pay DOT physicals, but other insurance plans aren't county plans. We've customized for counties. You know, we pay hearing aids and exams. Other plans aren't going to pay that, but it's because we're talking to people that work in counties all the time, and that's the coverage they've said they need. So we have customized these to be really for counties. And so we've just, you know, the plans are different. But if you guys want to set up HRAs, just like we set up the HSA through Allegiance, we can do HRAs if that's something. But remember that HRA, we'll have to figure out the legality. Do you guys use the permissive mill?
Yes.
So we'll have to figure out the legality, because that's money that stays with the county. And so you'd have to figure out legally. I don't have any counties that are using the permissive mill and doing an HRA. So we would just need to figure out for sure that's okay to do that. But I know it is with HSAs. I'm sure about that. I just don't know about HRAs because I don't have very many counties that utilize them. Because honestly, most of the time they want the benefit to be for in their employee, in their employee's plan. And so really that's just what it is in a situation in that is that, you're cost shifting because you're telling your employee your deductible is going to be double. We're not going to pay as much in co-insurance and your max out of pocket is more than double. And so
And then I looked at like the dollar amount. So if you did $300 a month, $3,600 a year, we tried to take that into consideration too, to take that off the cost. But even taking that into consideration, the variance in your deductibles and out of pocket totally wipes out that 3,000 quickly because you're going to be picking that up and then some.
So, and I don't think anybody really was interested in that HRA.
No, they were pushing it. They kept bringing
they
that up.
pushing it?
I couldn't understand
They
what.
seem to be pushing it. What do we have? The
HSA.
And
Yeah,
this is,
HSA
what you're
and
talking about is a,
well,
Yeah.
Right.
so
Remember
we
they
she
kept pushing on that one.
It's health reimbursement account that any money that's left in it, they quit and leave, that money comes back to the county.
okay,
They
I
don't
think
take it.
they'd be
And the
interested
HSA, the health savings account part, if they leave, it goes with them.
in that. Yeah.
right.
It's
On
their
The
money.
one that we have now.
Yeah, the one that you have now is their money.
Right, yeah.
So typically speaking, I think most of your employees, but a lot of people that are insuring family. In fact, we did the comparison, the blue columns, just with people that are insuring their family, because that's all that's on it. But interestingly enough, their tier between a single, what the cost is for a single versus a family, their tier calculation is higher. So they say this, you take the single premium, and I think, let's say the premium is $640 or $650 or $750, whatever it is. To make their plan, you would take that times 3.1 to get your family premium, where we use a little more generous calculation of 2.82. So, or family rates, even though their individual rate is lower, or family rates are still really, competitive. When you look at the fact that you're not cost shifting all of that to your employees, and they based your rates only off of your demographics. So they don't know your claims history with us. And just so you know, you guys have had some tough years with us. In fact, when I looked back, I think over 6 years, we've actually paid out more than we've collected from you. And thankfully, you're part of the pool. And so anytime you have a claim over 50,000, that gets shared with everybody, which has been great. But needless to say, you could have a lot of employees that really would get burned if you doubled their deductibles and their out-of-pockets.
Well, I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can do it, double their,
No, and this was just something that they,
You're saying if they went, if the county went with the co-op? Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
no, the county is in the co-op.
No.
No, you're in the healthcare trust. If you went with,
Trust.
yeah.
We're in the group.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Reset.
You're in the
see them, like,
pool.
Offering that for those premiums for 1 year and then they bump it up.
Well, this is, I don't know if Pam remembers, but when we went with Mako, we, because they had increased our rates so tremendously that we were able to get the 90-10 plan.
The
And
cold
it
and
was
the
200
godfather.
deductible. Because we just kept our premium the same. And so we've been with you ever since.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And, last year we offered a little bit higher deductible, but your deductible was waived on all those services where, there's not very much that their deductible is waived. So down in the other portion, the body of this document, what's in red and what's in green is kind of green where we would be a better option. But you can see under our revised major medical plans, like the first couple columns, you know, your deductibles are waived in lots of situations. And then there are benefits that we offer that they just simply, you know, they don't offer massage, they don't offer hearing, they don't offer DOT exams. So it's just, you know, a different offering. But ultimately, when you look at the shift, the cost shift to your employees, whether you go with the gold plan or you go with the, you know, the HSAs are really comparable, but the other plans, there really is just, it's just a matter of cost shifting to the employees, giving them higher deductibles and higher max out of pockets. And if you guys really are interested in doing that, you know, we could have you move to plans with higher deductibles and higher out of pockets. But that has never been the intention here.
No, I don't want to go
No,
that, 'cause no.
Well, they were misleading us saying, because they were saying lower deductibles, but what I got here.
Lower
Premium. Lower
But I
premium.
thought they were gonna say local.
No, the deductibles are way up there. Deductible was like 6,000 something.
Well, when you just, you know, when you look at their deductibles, they offered you a $1,000 deductible. And they offered you a $4,000 deductible. And then they offered you, what was it, a $4,400 deductible, where your current offerings have a $500, a $2,000, a $2,000, and a $3,000. So when you're truly looking at deductibles, our deductibles are clearly less.
Yeah, well, thanks for doing this chart, yeah.
But then when you look at max out of pockets, you know,
17,000 per
Yeah.
family.
That's the big one.
And this is the plan that, like Pam was saying, has your families on it, you know, where you've got the dependents on the plan or all on that BP plan, which is comparable to their silver HRA. And then that family max out of pocket is 17,000. That's a big
you
jump.
know, that's more than double the plan that you're on. So
Financially, that's a hit.
So that would be, I think that would be, so your deductible is double, but your max out of pocket is more than double. So I feel like, you know, if you guys want to start moving to higher deductibles and stuff, we could, but also a lot of times employees, you know, and I'm not sure how you guys are compensated compared to other counties, but unless you have a really high compensation package, a lot of times employees, they want plans with low deductibles, or they want, you know, they don't want to take a lot of risk because
Kind of part of their compensation package.
right. Do you guys,
We understand.
do you want me to go through any other comparisons?
Do you want,
How much is ours going up?
right here?
So let's talk about that. Since you're prompting me, let's talk about that.
Might as well get to that, because that's the.
Right.
Personally, I don't, that other outfit.
So,
This one?
yep, but you can also look at this letter, the letter here. And then I actually like thankfully Joanne has done a lot in terms of making stuff a little more clear. And I think she's put together some nice spreadsheets. So you can see that on the front, it talks about the current year's rate adjustment, but I actually like the spreadsheet on the back. So it looks like it's this letter here, and it looks like this. So it looks like this. Yep, there we go. Yep, okay. So this is your trend over the last 8 years with Mako. And the rates are, to answer your question, Scott, they are going to go up 11.5% this year. But part of that is because the healthcare trust, we took a big rate increase of 6.5%. But
It's a tough year across the
it was
entire nation.
across the year. So when you look at the last column in this spreadsheet is your national medical trend, which is an average of 8.8 over the last 8 years. The Mako Health Care Trust is at 3% over the average of the last 3 years. And then you can see where Granite County is 4.3. So if you look at, yeah, which really, in terms of what's happened in health insurance, 4.3% over the last 8 years increase has been great. There were, of that 8 years, there were 3 years you never had any kind of a rate change, even though I don't think we went back 8 years. I think we only went back 6 years. Over the last 6 years, we've paid out more on your group than we've collected. So if you were to be in
Each of those years.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if
like
you
6
were,
consecutive years.
yeah, 6 consecutive years. And so in like 3 years ago, when you didn't have a rate increase, we paid out more in your claims than we took in. So other counties helped keep your premium down. Even this year, if you were not in a pool, your rates may have went up considerably more than even the 11.5, because your rates will never increase more than 5% over the average.
Yeah, that's a really nice protection.
Mm-hmm.
As Pam and I were kind of talking through this week, and Sandra and I have discussed it, both wearing hats from different health insurance carriers. If you were in the mid-market segment, which is, the 50 to 100 segment, and covered, say, by Blue or Allegiance, and you had over 100% loss ratio, meaning the premiums that we took in didn't even cover the cost of the claim, so other people are picking up, you'd definitely be looking at a rate increase in the 20s, but for sure. I can't think of, I did, certainly 15 plus. And so it demonstrates to me, which is what I love about Mako. And one of the reasons that I chose to move is just the financial stability of the pool and of the trust. It really does help counties. Counties are truly helping other counties, which feels good.
So what would instead of paying 11.19, or what would it go up to for each individual?
So your contribution last year was 11, and here, I think, did you give them their rate sheet from last year? Okay. Oh, because I have some. Oh, that's okay. So yes, I have a few of them here. So last year, why don't we get that to Chuck? Because I kind of know what it says, and you can give that to him. And I might have more. Let me see if I can find more of your rate sheets from last year. Okay. Just in case Billy or here we go.
That one's last year's. That's your rate sheet. This one right here that I just gave you, this is what your rates were last year, so you can compare to what they will be this year.
I have an extra. No, don't worry, I know what they say. So last year, your contribution for medical was $1,116. Plus you paid for dental, which was $36. And so when you add those two numbers up together, you were at $1,152. That's what your contribution was. But let's just talk about medical, because I think that helps keep it cleaner. By the way, this spreadsheet here is all done on comparisons with your rate increase. It wouldn't be fair to, give you a quote that was from last year's when your rates went up, 11%. So it's just based on last year. So then, Scott, when you look at this here, these are what your rates will be this year compared to what they were last year. And last year is the rate sheet that goes the other direction. So if you choose to keep your plans or your contribution amount exactly the same, you can see where your RM 500 wouldn't be completely free to your employees anymore. But you can see where all of the other plans that we offered last year, including your HD 3000, would all still not cost your employees any money out of their own pocket. Now, if
it went from 16 to 1775, is that right? Am I all back?
Oh, on the member and spouse?
Well,
No.
I don't know.
Hold it, are you adding?
Oh, you know what? I think I understand where he's looking at. Let me just point you. So this column right here, this is the one that we're member only. So just these figures, this is if you add a spouse to it. So yeah, this kind of reads downwards as far as the member only. Does that make better sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So for example, right now, if you kept your contribution the same at the 1,116 and somebody took the HD 3000, they would get $228 into their HSA instead of last year, they were getting $300 a month. If you think it's important, and let me go back and say, we absolutely don't have to make any final decisions today. So you have time to make this decision. If we need to do a meeting with staff, if we need to have a follow-up meeting, just know we're happy to do that. But I thought it was important because if you're going to leave the trust, you need to notify us by March 1st, which is just right around the corner. It's next week. So, that was the one thing I wanted to make sure that we got here for that. But back to this, if you decide it's really important for our plan or employees to have a plan that doesn't cost a money and you can't afford to increase your premium, maybe we want to look at the RM 1000.
Replace the RM 500 with the RM 1000. So your
Right.
employees would pick up $500 more.
Right. So currently you have 14 employees on the RM 500. You have none on the RM 2000. So we could even, replace
That's true.
the RM 2000 with the RM 1000, which would be less than your current contribution.
Which is the best one?
Well, the best one is the RM 500, but it's gone up, what, $128 per person, right? But the difference, Scott, is the deductible, right?
Yes, on the RMs, the plan is exactly the same, but it's the deductible and the max out of pocket are the only differences. So, and I don't know, had you had any intentions of lowering your contribution?
No, we were gonna keep it the same. Is what we
I
talked
deal with
about.
the union, we have to keep the dollar amount.
Yeah, the dollar amount the same, and then anything over what we're paying now, the employee would pay. And so it would still be exempt and pulled before they, right?
So,
Yeah.
right,
Pretty
so
much.
okay, so you weren't thinking you were gonna increase it, you were gonna leave it the same?
Yes.
Okay. So,
But,
yeah.
I mean, do you guys understand what she's saying?
Hell no.
Okay.
You don't
County
remember
gonna put
talking
in-
about that?
Huh.
Oh, you don't remember talking about that?
I don't remember telling employees that they'd have to pay for something.
Well, we decided that we were talking about if it got
I
any
might not have
higher,
been here either.
if we can't keep going and going and going and going.
No, I
At
understand.
one point, so if we don't want the employees to pay anymore, then we'd have to get the higher deductible.
Or,
They'd have the option. to do another.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, they could pay more for the $500 deductible and then maybe, with the RM 1000 or RM 1500.
mm-hmm. Right, you could, opt to offer one of those other plans down underneath the alternate plans.
Okay, so for example, we take the RM 1000 and replace it, or put it in the RM, replace the RM 2000 with the RM 1000.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
And then if somebody wanted to keep the 500, they'd pay the extra 128.
Mhm.
But they could take the RM 1000, 3000. Yeah.
Right, or they could
Right.
still take the basic plan, or they could take the
Basic
height of
plan.
And typically, your only people that are going to take the basic plan are going to be people that are insuring family members. And for some of them, they may choose to take the high deductible health plan too. Or an individual who takes the high deductible health plan then would get less in their HSA account, but they would still have their plan covered at 100%.
I get it. I do get it. I'm just trying to want to explain it to you. Do you get it? So if we decided that to make,
I'm terrible. You know this, Pam. I don't miss insurance stuff.
so if we decided
It is
to do-
complicated.
so that we wouldn't have to pay any more, but we wouldn't have to, the employee wouldn't pick it up unless they wanted to.
Mhm.
So if the employee wanted to pick up the extra 128, they could do the RM 500. And then we'd offer the RM 1000 at 1102. So we'd be down a couple bucks. that's not good. That you need to get really mad.
Yeah, gotta keep saying benefit, but yeah, you're right at it.
So this year, the dental went up $2. So that's gonna use 2 more of your dollars there.
Well, see, the last year, was 1116 plus we paid
The dental, which was
the dental,
36.
and the employees paid the vision, right?
They did. I don't think, hold it, let me double check. Did
I
we?
don't think they paid the
Employee
vision.
paid for vision from last year, I believe.
I thought we paid everything
Huh? We paid dental.
and vision.
Well, they could use their contribution towards vision.
Yeah, they
I
could.
just don't think the contribution amount was based on that.
Right, it wasn't based on it, but I think like if somebody took the high deductible health plan, let me look at your last year's
I
rate.
don't think we paid vision.
So which one am I in? I'm at 3,000.
You're on the HD 3000.
Yeah, that's the last on the top part. This one right here.
Okay.
So your premium is right there. And it's just yourself, I take it right?
Mhm.
Okay, so that would be your premium right there.
That's what I pay a month, or the county
The
pays.
county, yeah, it comes out of that, the 1,116 on the medical side, but then your dental's on.
So
So-
after I add the dental and vision to it, then it's up to
Mhm.
whatever,
Yeah,
right?
Okay, so
Right.
the employees, if they
yeah,
have vision,
so if you take the
they pay it
8
themselves.
and add your dental and add your vision to it, that's what your whole premium would be. So you could see where you're at in that contribution.
Add that 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think so too.
plus,
Because I was gonna say there's $20 left and vision was 17 last year and this year it'd be 18. And so I'm pretty sure that you could use it. Yeah, right. So, but that's just, I mean, your contribution was based on the RM 500 and dental. But like Billy said, the difference then, if she took a plan that was less expensive,
So you're looking at 935
right? So,
out of the 1152.
so
So what happens to that other money? The
Then you go into your HSA.
Now I understand. Now I got it.
Good.
That was a hell of a brain. fart.
Actually, a difficult exercise.
I don't, it's
So,
really.
The 1152, would that get the county the RM 1,000 and dental?
yeah, it would.
Sure.
So
that
something
would-
for them to consider.
You get it, really?
You understand that, Scott? Little change in the deductible there, but the 1152 the county paid out last year per month per employee, right, would be the same for the RM 1,000 plan and dental.
So we're keeping our premium the same, but we still have an offer, if they wanted to pay the difference, that they could pay the difference for the
That come out
500.
of their pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they want that richer plan.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right. So they still have the same option.
Yeah. And it's the same insurance, right, except for the deductible.
Yes.
207.
Right. So, you know, the only people it really affects are going to be people who hit their deductible. Because the deductible is waived every time you go to the doctor. It's
Yes.
waived on so many different services that only if you have like a hospitalization or you have surgery or you do a lot of physical therapy or a lot of, a lot of diagnostic testing, then you maybe would hit your deductible. But if not, there's a lot that plan pays without people ever hitting their deductibles. So, do you guys have any questions about what we've talked about so far?
No. Kind of like looking down a blank hall, ain't it? You can see it, man, I know. I understand it though. She's explaining
No,
it.
I think you're getting it.
I
So,
think that's why my personal opinion, is stay with you guys because we trust you. And yeah. That's me though.
so a couple other things we need to tell you what we're changing in the plan. We're not taking anything away, but we are adding some additional benefits. So we're adding orthotics. So people who need orthotics in their shoes.
What's that?
You know how an insert, like
What?
Inserts in your shoe.
Yeah, they're custom-made inserts that go into your shoe. They take a molding of the bottom of your foot and build an insert for your shoe, so that kind of balances you. Sometimes people with flat feet or high arches and that, they have foot problems that causes knee problems on their hip and on up. So these steps in the orthotics.
Is that why you're limping, Blaine? You need it, whatever it's called.
like I had a guy recently call and he'd had a logging accident. So when his legs was different heights, that's what it helps with. And then we're increasing the vision exam from 75 to 100. So I didn't mention it, but vision is going to go up $1. But the good news is for $1, you get $25 back if you go do an exam. So
Is there a certain, does it matter where you go? So, okay.
yep, you can go wherever you want.
That was one of the big differences too, is I didn't really know specifically what their network was that was being offered, whereas like on dental and vision under NACO, you can go to who you want. It's just a defined benefit. So you don't have to stay in network, which can be hard in dental and vision.
Was that clarified at all? Does anybody notice if you had to go to somebody who took Guardian?
Well, I thought they said something about that they had certain places, but
Yeah, there's some places that don't.
I don't know
The
about.
most do.
I just have such a hard time keeping up.
Okay. And then also, when you look at their, the co-op hasn't been around that many. I mean, do you guys know the co-op was kind of formed, how it got formed in 2011 with the ACA? So originally, a lot of people, they used Coventry Network, I think, which was out of like Salt Lake or whatever. Because we talked to them, working for Mako back then, I talked to them. And so that's one thing. If you go to a provider outside of Montana, Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming, did they explain to you what happens to your claims if you go outside of those states?
No,
So-
yes, no.
Okay, because that's one thing, with Mako in Montana, we use the Allegiance Network, but you can go anywhere in the United States and you use the Cigna network, which saves people, thousands and thousands of dollars. And so that is one thing that's different is, the networking.
So, I guess jumped ahead a little bit because we're running out of time and that, does it, like today, did it say a discussion decision? But we gotta leave it out to the people, right? The people that work for us, or is there a? Cause coming March, we got next week and then boom, we're into.
So
you can make
we're
decisions.
keeping this, just right.
Yeah.
Okay. We're keeping this and we're trying to keep the cost. I don't know. Do you remember talking about it last year? You don't either? I tried to drill it and everybody said no. I'm teasing.
I remember it. I was here.
Yes.
Where was I?
You were here. I
Squirrel.
think you were here.
It was a long time, right?
I can't remember if Scott was here that day or not.
Well, maybe you weren't here.
You might have not been here that.
I remember
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit about it.
Well, this is what we, eventually,
I
it's
think
getting
we-
to the point where
yeah.
we have to, and what we're offered now is very, like you said, generous. I don't think anybody in the state pays as much as we do for premiums.
There are a couple counties, but, well, actually, their contribution is as high, but their premiums, they don't offer as rich a plans. But there are also counties that came to us that they were paying more to another carrier, and they didn't want to lower their contribution amount because when you use the permissive mill, it's hard to go backwards. So they just left their contribution at the same and allowed people to use it for like dental and vision.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we've never gone backwards anyway.
No.
We started at, I think, when we started permissive, the permissive levy, we were paying like $246 a month premium. And so we started the permissive and started that, and so we get some good money in there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
So,
Anyway.
so do we make a, do we just, don't say decision?
I don't know what,
A decision to stay with them.
yeah, decision to,
It just
so
says
when do we
it's
have to tell you that we want to switch these plans
March
around?
1st?
You could tell us today if you're ready to tell us today what plans you want to switch to. But don't feel like we're making you do that. We just really needed a commitment from you by March 1st. If you're leaving, we have to have it written notice.
No, I don't.
So do you think we need to go to the 1,000, RM 1,000? So that we don't have to pay any more?
Yes.
And then if you chose the RM 500, you would pay the,
Out of pocket.
and then so you'll offer, so we'll just pull out the RM
Remind us what
2,000
we're
Right.
at then.
and
We
substitute
didn't
it.
talk about that, you know, we don't have to decide on that right now.
You don't have to. You can, but you don't have to.
Think about it, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think that part, but I think we could make the notice that we're staying with
I'll
Mako,
make
but we're
most
not.
of the way stay with them.
Yeah, but we're not sure what plan to go out. Cause like, would I change mine then?
You can, but we can talk about it.
And we can
You
talk
might be
about-
on the, I actually kind of feel like you might want to stay where you're at.
Well, that's what I'm
Put
thinking.
that money in
That's
that
why I'm
savings
sure.
account.
well,
think
and
people-
yours is, him, hers, his, little bit.
Yeah.
I know how I.
That's all, folks.
What the hell did I do to you?
Blanche.
It would still be the same.
Huh?
Yeah, yours would still be the same. And I think you're on the HP 3,000 too.
Yeah, 3,002.
So it's just mainly letting it, switching to the RM 1,000. I think we can make that decision today. And if they want to keep the RM 500,
I just don't want to miss out on, what are you, gaveling me now?
I did not touch that. Nice try.
You do a motion that you're gonna stay with Mako and the county's benefit per employee will be $11.52 per month, and then you can work out with them
Yeah.
later on what
Yeah.
the plans will be.
Because I'm sure there'll be some that won't come in like last time to sit down with you.
Well,
We'll still-
we
we'll
have to,
still
we
be
have to
here
have
for
this
a moment.
figured out before we can come. So we'll
Yeah.
need this, you know, in the next few
Yes.
weeks. But, and if you want to decide today that that's what you want to do, that's great. But if you want to just table it or table the decision about the plans, we can do that too.
I don't know, it's a pretty good deal. I
Yeah,
just see what, I think it's gonna be left up to us anyway.
well, I think what we already decided that we don't want to pay any more. And, but we'll have this offer, this 500 deductible if the employee wants to pay the additional 128 or whatever it is.
So you
We'll
drop
drop that
drop the RM 2,000,
Mhm.
add the RM 1,000.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the county's gonna do offer the RM 1,000 and then the rest of them, if, like you get some money put into your account and so. You
That-
see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, that doesn't have to be part of this calculation right
Right.
now.
So,
Yeah,
but offer the 500, but we're offering
Thousand,
those are the offers and they have to pay the balance difference on the RM
if
500.
they wanna go that route.
So then the motion, if you want a comprehensive motion, would be to go with Mako, pay $11.52 in benefits to each county employee per month.
So is it
Add the-
1152? Is that,
that was your amount last year.
okay?
Add the
So-
RM 1,000 in lieu of the, or as the main replacement.
That's my motion.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Did you get that, Billy?
Yep.
A second.
Any public comment on this? No? So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So motion been carried past, so we're gonna go with you and then we'll get the rest figured out.
Okay, so Scott, are you the chair right now?
Mhm.
Okay, we will have you sign this then. Just so then we can get rolling on the plans. We'll have you check which I can help you check. Oh, Joanne has it checked. And then we can just have, and then we'll give it to Billy so that she can get or I can go make a copy or whatever. You will.
I will.
So Wayne, this doesn't mess with the union at all, right? We're still keeping the
It's still
same
good
amount.
with the Union Act,
Okay.
11.52.
Okay.
They just gotta keep their benefits, the amount the county pays at least
Okay.
And they could come back and say that we want different. Pay more, and they can,
I
that's a
appreciate it.
negotiation point, but it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I don't need to bring that up.
Appreciate the way you explain it.
Yeah.
It was way, I don't care if they hear it or not. I had a hell of a time.
So everything's the same as last year. Except you can get your feet fixed.
And you get a few less out of pocket for that vision exam.
Right. So should I wait till Billy comes back to continue? I have two other things we definitely want to visit with you guys about. Should I wait for her?
Yeah.
Is that prefer?
I don't know if it's,
prefer-
oh, it's recording. maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
She should be right back. She's just
Yeah.
copying.
Well, while we wait, thank you. We sure appreciate working with you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
we value every county.
Yes,
council that comes, so
absolutely.
we really appreciate you letting us come here today and the opportunity to look through those plans and talk through them with you.
Right. So the other thing that we really wanted to share with you is we are trying to promote wellness. I didn't notice anything in a proposal, before about wellness. So I definitely want to bring up the things that we're doing and the changes that we're going to make. We've been doing a blood draw here off and on for at least 14 years, and we'll continue. And we've set the dates for that. In fact, I think
We got
March.
the dates, yeah. March 13th is your wellness blood draw.
Is it the 13th or the 17th?
Oh, 17th, I'm sorry. Can you read? Yeah. It's March 17th.
Right.
Green blood.
Right. So just so you know, this year when we come to do the blood draw, anybody who comes in on their way out, they'll get a $20 incentive. So they get $20, if nothing else, they have $20 to go buy beer or green beer, or they have $20 to go buy lunch or whatever. But we are trying to promote and get more people to participate in the blood draw. And then we still have Healthy is Wellness coming every month. And we have really low participation. I'm not talking about Granite County necessarily. I'm just talking across the board. And so to help drive participation, anybody who goes and has their monthly health coaching session will be able to earn $25 for that monthly session, but you earn it after you attend 4 of their sessions.
Cool.
So if you meet with them 4 times,
And
after
you get
4,
25 bucks.
you get 100.
Oh,
$25 each visit.
that's good.
And then you can earn up to $800 in a year. No, up to $200.
And that's where you come in and they weighs your,
Tells you your muscle tones
Yeah.
and weight, good,
and
bad.
if you come in every month and do it, you get $100.
And if you do after 4 months, so if you come in 4 months and do it, you get 100. And if you come in 4 more times in the year, you can get $200.
So is this doesn't work for people that are on your Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare Advantage, right?
Why are you looking down and saying?
Because I know it isn't.
So you're not getting it?
So I'm not in it.
You still kind of like to do it though sometimes, don't you? if
Yeah, I
you're
do.
here?
I still come in.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
No,
it's-
I do. I use my insurance card to come in and do the blood work and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm signed up for that too, but I just,
Yeah.
I mean, to get there, but I never get there. But I wouldn't get the $100. That's awesome. That should, that's gonna make a lot of people probably do it. Seriously.
I know, so that's our goal. We're hoping for it, so the more you can promote it, the better.
Did you guys pay her to be a
Cheerleader, no?
She is a heck of a good cheerleader though.
Yeah.
You probably didn't know. You knew her back in the jazzercise days, right?
Aerobics.
Oh, that's right. It was aerobics, not
Oh.
jazzercise.
Get it straight.
Oh, I remember being envious of her. Oh, yeah. So, is there anything we need to talk about, like review eligibility? We're still good with your eligibility is they have to work 30 hours and their coverage starts the first of the month following 30 days. I didn't mention to you that the life rates are not going up, thanks to Joanne. We had a lot of life claims this year between suicide and COVID. And so our rates really technically should have went up, but Joanne got busy and went to the market and did a market check. And they came back and said that they would honor our rates for at least 2 more years. So the good news is the life insurance isn't changing. We're still providing the 25,000 of life insurance free for any of your members that participate on a medical plan.
And the guarantee issue is going to go up as well. So we'll get all of that communication out and ready for open enrollment, but the guarantee issue is going to go up actually to 200,000 or 4 times your salary, whichever is less. So that's a nice added benefit. So you don't have to go through EOI. And the outstanding question I have is if somebody already has the 100,000, can they automatically get the 200 without having to go through EOI? So that's an outstanding question. I'll get an answer on before open enrollment.
Yeah. And I think the last thing is was a section in red on the rate sheet that we had you sign that says, I acknowledge that Granite County is meeting the required 75% participation. I would assume that you guys meet that. Do you think you guys have very many employees that don't have other group or government issued insurance? Do you think you have employees that are just going without insurance as if they're working 30 hours? Do you think you have employees that don't take the benefits?
No.
No, I think we're.
No, they all take the benefits.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
So this was another thing. We used to have an auditing firm come and audit that. So it used to be when Mako had the work comp trust and then the healthcare trust, we would use the same auditing firm and they would come and visit with somebody in your clerk and recorder's office and audit to make sure that, everybody was. When work comp went away and then the company that we used to do our auditing, they also went away. And so this year, Joanne went to replace the company to do the auditing and they wanted to charge $40,000 to do that. And so she should give me the $40,000 because I just confirmed you guys are good. I said, you know what, we can confirm that really easy. All we have to do is check with your clerk and recorder, or, Becky or whoever's keeping track of the employees and verify that you're meeting.
So now, is that 30 hours a week?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was 20 hours a week.
You've actually switched yours to 30 hours a week. That's what I have in my notes.
That's what we have in the system.
Really?
Do you think you're at 20 hours still?
Yeah, I thought, why would we do that? Some people wouldn't be eligible.
Legally, you just have to provide coverage at 30 hours.
See what the personnel manual said.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I wasn't eavesdropping, I just happened to be on this end of the corner. Are you talking about part-time or half-time? 30
Well,
hours a week. It's 86.67 a month. So whatever that averages out to over the course of 3 months, they have to work 86.67 hours.
Which is less
to
than
20
if
hours.
we're looking at it weekly. It's,
Okay.
and that's the way it's always been.
Yeah, and that's how I continued to do it.
And how many of them are working on their own? What's the number?
That we
are
have.
Working, we're working 20.
See, and I know that we had the, Pam, we discussed this before and it
Let me
was,
grab that,
if
grab
they,
that.
thanks Becky. It
I'll grab
was-
the
Okay,
invoice for this
Okay.
stuff and see.
so it was whatever they could within the 3 months.
I think that's what the personnel manual says too.
Well,
But it wasn't 30 hours. I know it wasn't 30 hours.
you think it was, so 27 hours or 20 hours equates to 87 hours a month.
Yeah.
And that's probably where she's getting the
Yeah.
86.7, I think is what she said. So that would be close enough to 87 hours. But then when you average it over a 3-month period.
Oh, so we're good then. You have to have 87 a
Right,
month.
but we should change this.
that.
We should verify that the document in-house, if it says 20 or 30 hours, and if our document in-house says 30 hours, we need to have you update the document to 20 hours or 87 hours a month.
Right, yeah. And I know that we've gone through this before because there were some that didn't work the 20 hours a week. They would work maybe 16 one week and 18 or something the next week and maybe 15 or something. But as long as it averaged out, and 86.67 is halftime.
Yeah,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be close enough. But
Yeah.
we would call it 87 hours just because we
Yeah.
like,
Well,
we
we
like
just-
cold numbers.
It's just 86.67. Is that how you have to put it in the computer to do your?
Right. But you'd be okay if we used
Yeah, you
used
can use
87 to,
87 hours. You can round.
right.
Please round up.
We round up.
Okay.
Except for when we're charging you, then you want us to round down.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah,
um,
we could just make that change on the form.
we just
too.
want to make sure that,
I'll have Deanna verify that, and we'll see how the system's configured too. You betcha. Did you hand in the form? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
It's on the bottom there.
Oh, she already got it.
What was that?
We have 4
That what?
that are not full-time employees that are on insurance.
So do you, when you use the term full-time, are you saying 30 hours or 40 hours?
40.
Okay, because the government technically, with the ACA, they say it's 30 hours.
Yeah.
And so you have 4 that aren't working, that are work
But
less than
they're
40.
at least half-time, right?
Yes.
Yes, so that's
least-
87 a month.
We have 2 dispatchers that are,
Right, half and half.
yeah, you know,
So-
sometimes they work more than other times, but it's always more than 86.67. And then, of course, our elected officials that are,
Right,
you know, the half-time.
right. They don't have any hour requirement under
Right.
our plan, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay,
Do
so the
you-
one thing like Pam was saying is that she thought it was 30 hours a week.
but we're using 20 hours a
In
week.
our handbook, or? We're looking at it. Okay.
But it was always half-time,
It's
which was
always-
87
Mhm.
hours a month.
Yeah.
So that's 20.
It's always been 86.67 since I've been.
Yeah.
Alright.
And, you know, before that, even when Sarah was doing it, that's. I know.
Okay, the personnel manual says at least 30 hours per week,
Oh.
but the commission can.
So yours, that
That
might
was
be
probably
where it
something
gets
we
from.
missed.
So your, because your
And that
handbook
came
says
from
30
Peter, too.
hours.
Yeah.
Do we have any that are working between 20 and
We
30?
just updated the manual. That's what-
One of them would fall less than 30.
Okay. And then my next question is, if they work less than 30, do they get the same contribution as somebody who works 30 or 40 hours a week?
At this point, our 86, our halftime people get the same benefit that our full-time.
Okay, so you're not prorating?
No.
Okay, would you tell me one more time what your handbook says?
30 hours, it isn't.
So Blaine, that manual, we just updated our personnel manual.
I just don't think they want to cut off that employee. at all.
Well, so, right, that's what I wanted to, so we have a couple options. Do we want to grandfather the employees that are not working 30 hours? Do we want to just, does it say that they have the ability to not,
Yeah, the commission has the ability to modify that.
to modify that? Okay. So, I mean, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page in terms, because this document here says 30 hours, so we would want to see the contract that was signed with us. And if it needs to be updated, which isn't a big deal at all to us, we can just easily do that.
I
But
know
then
for a
also
fact
a
it was
lot of,
20 hours a week. I know, I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we had to come in and say, well, we can't do 20 hours a week, we have to do something else. And so then it was the halftime 87 in the 3 months time.
But
that
you're
all
willing to
were-
do the 20 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah, then that's what I encourage the commission to do.
but, okay, but does
Good.
it, but we typically want it to say what it says in your handbook. So what do you feel about, like, do you feel like you want to update your handbook?
So can we do an amendment for that?
Well,
See, I missed that on the handbook. I should have caught that.
would you accept it just if it was in the minutes?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Minutes? Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So they could do that today.
We have, and then if we need a new document signed, then we'll send you one, and then you can update it and put it on the agenda then. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I think would be best,
Mhm.
just to make
Yeah.
sure that your handbook says what we're doing and that we're all on the same
On an
page.
audit, we all be clean.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
Is there any public comment?
I think that's it, other than we need to say thank you. We appreciate your business. We appreciate you staying with the trust, and
Thank you.
yeah, if you want to talk about that, I kind of missed one thing on the bill or on the agenda, so that'd be great.
Okay. In the value booklet there that's in the packet, you'll see in there, I think
On the
it's
right-hand
page,
side.
17, I think it is, in the booklet there. It's Healthcare Blue Book, because I think you guys have heard the new regulation that went out, no surprises, federal act, where you can't have any surprises on what your bill's gonna be. And really, you guys, Mako's had the healthcare trust, had the Healthcare Blue Book, so you guys have always had that transparency. They can go out and look at prices, compare places and that, but there will be one change, July 1st for the new benefit year. They'll get new cards because they're deductible and their out-of-pocket have to be on the cards. So everyone will get a new card for the new benefit year.
Yeah, so if anybody comes in, why did I get this card? I didn't change anything. It's because of this no surprises now.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but Allegiance has kept us very updated with the Healthcare Blue Book, so people can go in. It's on that page. Did I give you the right page?
You sure did.
Okay, 17 and that. So you can go in and you can compare. So if you're going to go out and have surgery, you can look and see, should I go to Bozeman? Should I go to Missoula? Should I go to Butte? Compare the prices and. Okay.
And the other thing is during open enrollment, we will definitely make sure that we're explaining this book here. A lot of people don't realize how much just comes with the plan at no additional cost. For example, the $25,000 in life is provided by Mako, no additional cost to the county or the employee. We have all sorts of things. Counseling, it's been a tough year. Like Pam said, we've had a lot of suicides, we've had a lot of deaths. There's an employee assistance program. That's fantastic for people who reach out to at no cost to them, etc. So there's a lot of added benefits. The telehealth, you can call and have a doctor's appointment just over the phone. Wellness coaching, blood screenings you're familiar with, but we just can put a packet together that outlines all of the added benefits, just so people can have it at their fingertips, because it's hard to keep track of sometimes. But we'll definitely make sure people understand that during open enrollment. Right.
Yes, we're over our time. Sorry about that.
You're way over.
Holy moly.
Blanche, I could have been 2 hours over. What do you mean? You know how much I can talk.
And we won't mention that we started early, right?
Do you guys have next thing on your agenda then?
No,
That
we're good.
we're done. Okay.
You were the last.
Okay. Well, I might let you guys finish up, but I'll wait out there so that we can visit with you if you have a couple minutes.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I second.
We're done for today. Thank you, everybody.
You enjoyed that.